Internet! Welcome to episode 2 of Popcorn Chicken, where we talk about pop culture things and sometimes eats when we remember to do that. We should probably do that maybe next episode. So, grab a bev. Oh god, that's... Oh, okay. Grab a bev, sit down and enjoy, and we're going to talk about MoonKnight. So today I'm going to be joined by the wonderful Christopher, Nathan,
Hi.
and a person from beyond the grave, Elvin.
Hello.
God damn it.
It's the mummy.
It's the multiverse MoonKnight.
It's the daddy. So hello,
That's
everyone.
so bad. This is the worst cosplay I've ever seen.
Oh, turn on your green screen. It looks so shit, and I loved it.
I think it crashes.
Disgusting.
It crashes it. I think.
I mean, you have a knack for crashing StreamYards, apparently. So
No, does not support it.
Happened on Monday during our
saw it.
podcast.
Yeah,
Worked
that
a moment ago,
podcast
yeah.
was all kinds of broken.
No, it won't let me.
All right, well, it was
well.
cool. Trust
We
me.
tried.
Yeah, we did. We put some
I
effort.
put a lot of
in the
effort into this, as you
post-production.
can see.
I mean, it took you like what, a half hour?
Well, something like that. Yeah.
Before you were a believable Moon Knight, now you're just a man wrapped in toilet
I'm a
paper.
Tuscan Raider / MoonKnight.
Yeah, it's just like
Tuscan
Lawrence
Knight.
of a
Tuscan Knight.
Elvin
is
of
what I am.
Arabia.
Yes. All right. Where do we begin here? Episode 2, huh?
Yo, this is a good
Lot to
episode.
unpack. Lot to unpack. Where do we want to start? Right at the title here. Summon the Suit. That is a title.
That's the name of the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good episode name.
Summon the Suit. And we'll find out. We know why. We'll get into that in a second here. But so our last episode we were talking about what's he gonna do when he gets out of that bathroom, right? Well, apparently nothing shows. He wakes up, right? Which is we should have saw that coming.
Kinda. It had a little bit of a cock tease where it was like, it started with like this visceral ripping sound and like punching, and it's just like,
Yeah.
oh shit, they're just going right into it. And then he wakes up, which I think Nathan, you
Yep.
called that.
Yeah, I thought
Oh,
that
yeah,
was
like,
yeah,
nah.
you're right. Yeah,
It-
you
He
it-
wakes
call it.
up.
It makes sense though, because you
Yeah.
at the start of an episode having all that action and then the rest of it slows down for a little bit. It feels oddly paced. It's nice to have that sudden burst where he wakes up, he knows that this is not really a dream. But they very much try and give you that sense of he doesn't know what's going on. He's very confused, and they're trying to make the audience see that too. So that's why I think they kind of made him wake up rather than us get to see this awesome action fight.
Yeah.
That's what I thought, and especially the first episode. I wasn't here for it, but I really love how they made the viewer feel the confusion he was feeling. You know, usually the viewer is in on, what's going on, but we don't get to see that part. So it adds to the whole experience, which I just feel like it's a great part of this series.
Yeah, and they kept that with the second episode, which I was really happy with. The fact that they still kept on like is he crazy, is he not, and it didn't just go like, he thinks he's crazy, oh now he's seeing gods and weird shit and people dying, so now it's fine, he's okay with it. But it still kept that same feel throughout this second episode as well.
Yeah. Speaking of seeing, so we start the show off with him trying to go to the museum and try to get the camera feed, right?
Yeah.
And as he's known as Scott by the security guy, Scott, like I'm not supposed to show you this, but whatever, we'll pull it up. And they look at the feed, and you just see a little, the little, what's it called? The
Just wait, it's coming.
yeah.
Just
yeah,
wait.
right.
Are you
This will be
crying?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. It's fine.
But yeah, you just see the little glitch and nothing. You don't see you don't see the jackal, nothing. You just see glitches. And obviously there's no feed in the washroom because it's highly illegal to put cameras in a washroom. But the reason why is they're from another dimension, and unless you're an avatar or a god, you're not going to be able to... The normal human beings are in this dimension aren't going to see that which I thought was pretty cool because it kind of makes him look even more crazy now in front of everybody else.
Yeah.
They're like, what the hell? What are you looking for? And then we see later on the episode where he is, dealing with a jackal, and nobody else knows what he's doing, and everyone's making fun of him in the street, like he's having a seizure, right? So I actually like that. I thought it was pretty cool, and it's a good way to hide some of these demons from the everyday human beings that are walking around. It just makes his job look a little bit more silly when he's trying to fight these guys, right?
Okay, I'll quickly
happy
point
with
out
the fact that the jackal still could interact with the
Yeah.
real world, so
Yeah.
it wasn't. So at least there was some affirmation for the shit that he's going through.
Yeah.
I'll quickly point out that we actually now know it is a jackal. He's confirmed it.
Yeah.
Before, I know we were unsure. We think it was a werewolf.
Werewolf,
Was it Anubis? What?
So Anubis's jackal is a kind of a jackal. He's got a jackal head, so close.
The jackal head, yeah.
Yeah. So it's nice to.
But this one you can see like a white dangling hair.
Yeah, during the sequence later on the rooftops, which I'm sure we'll get to, you get to see him in a lot more detail with the long hair strands. He looks so grotesque and disgusting. Is great.
But is that something you've seen in Egyptian culture at all? Or is something the MCU just created?
That's something MCU created. Jackals are used all the time in ancient Egypt, but they don't make them look disgusting like that.
Well, it's nice because it switches up what we thought we knew, and they put just that tiny little spin on it. It's Egypt. It goes back thousands and thousands of years. So, it's not like they gave him a full head of hair, which would have been awkwardly weird, like it's blowing in the wind. I love this character, and especially when he first appeared in the second episode in the storage room. It's almost like a horror movie as well. So I'm enjoying this.
Yep.
Oh, look, it says episode 1 on the bottom.
Well, now that you pointed it out, asshole.
Oops. Our production level went down.
For
Where's
our
that
audio
sound?
podcast listeners, just forget the last 10 seconds.
Yes, it is episode 2. And we're gonna drop a bunch of spoilers, so if you haven't seen it, stop right now, go watch it, and then join us for the breakdown. So yeah, you've been warned, even though we already started 5 minutes ago.
I don't know if you're Moon Knight or Daredevil now, because it's like you're covering
I kind
your
of got
eyes.
some. I kind of got some Deadpool vibes from his suit that he conjured up.
We'll get into that. Let's just go at the beginning here. So Steven, he loses his job, right?
Yeah.
He's meeting with HR or the chief head of security, and he's told to hand in his name tag.
I did like how. So like normally in those kind of situations in a lot of movies where like somebody's portrayed as like, oh, you're crazy, you're a loose cannon, whatever, they're an asshole. But I was really enjoying how compassionate and realistic the HR guy was. He wasn't just like, fuck out of here, you're crazy, you broke everything. He was just like, here's a pamphlet, these doctors we worked with, these are good people.
Well, yes. Does anybody want to take a guess at what I'm going to say next here about the security chief? What he was alluding to?
Go for it.
He actually works for Arthur Harrow.
Yeah.
Because he's passing the pamphlet, which is from their group, right? And then he also says, "Do you have anything else that you've taken from the museum?"
Yeah.
You know what he's referring to, right? So
The scarab.
yeah, the scarab. So he's obviously working for Arthur Harrow. They're all in the museum. You saw in the last episode, the security guys were all working for him anyway. So
Yeah.
this is just one of his goons that's trying to infiltrate or trying to get more information out of him. And then he's like, "Where did you hide it?" And he's like, "I don't know." And we know that he truly doesn't know because Mark Spector is the one who put it away, right? And where he put it away is the next part. So there's some Easter eggs here.
Yes.
Does anybody want to talk about that?
There was the QR code on the storage locker that he goes to.
Yeah.
Which I'm trying to pull up again here. There we go.
Yeah. So the QR
it goes
code
to
is
the if you scan it, it goes to Marvel.com, and then gives you you get to read the first issue that Moon Knight ever appeared in, which we talked about last
so
week.
this is the second time. The last episode they did it by the wall in the museum, a QR code, which was you get to see Werewolf issue number 32. This one is issue number 33.
Oh, cool! I didn't
yeah.
I didn't know that they had it in the last episode.
Yeah, in the episode where you see him in the museum, behind in the background, you'll see a QR code on the wall, so you can scan that.
That's cool.
So with the storage locker, he keeps when he went to the guy at the front desk, he asked the number 43, right? The guy mentioned 43, and then the locker is number 43. So 43 is a reference as well. It's the Werewolf by Night issue number 43. It was the last issue of that comic series, Werewolf by Night. After that,
Can you see anything?
Right?
Can you see anything?
On MoonKnight, I can see in the dark.
Oh my god.
Don't be silly.
Don't me be silly. You're in a fucking toilet paper robe.
This is Egyptian bandage. Okay.
Right, sorry.
Right.
I'm being insensitive.
Is it Egyptian cotton?
Yes.
Yeah, is that shit imported?
100%. Made
How
by
many
the
thread
finest,
Hard to get in the
counts?
pandemic.
made by the finest young hands. Anyways, can I finish here where I was brutally interrupted? Thank you very much. Supposed to have some sort of a cameo. So Werewolf by Night is supposed to have a cameo at the end of this series to set up the Halloween special that they're going to be doing.
Ooh.
Oh, I love those.
Is it Brendan
Yeah,
Fraser?
Sorry,
Oh,
Back-
would that be
is it Brendan
amazing?
Fraser?
That'd be pretty
Are they
good.
bringing back the Dooku?
I don't think so.
It's gonna put the
Have you
Dooku
seen
together.
Brendan Fraser?
Van Helsing's gonna show up. Yeah, he's like if you took 4 Brendan Frasers and put
Yeah.
them into one Brendan Fraser.
I don't know how many werewolves are going to get around with that
But
kind of...
but he's probably the happiest motherfucker on the internet. And
Probably.
like straight up, he does interviews and it just like gets moved to tears because people like his things that he's done, and he's just like so
Brendan
happy.
Fraser is an amazing.
He's
awesome-
like salt of the
Yeah.
earth, like
he's actually showing up to the Calgary Expo,
yeah.
which we're not going to, but we
Oh,
will try
okay.
to go next year.
Okay,
Yeah, we're just a little too time sensitive here for us.
that's fine.
When is it?
Sorry,
When is it?
I think it's in 2 weeks.
It's like the 21st to the 25th, something like that, sometime around there.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. So, Werewolf by Night is interesting because this is sort of sets up the whole Midnight Suns, where we have Blade, we have Ghost Rider, all these guys, and they're hunting down vampires and werewolves and stuff. So, I'm really interested in seeing how this is gonna develop, and the Halloween special is gonna be pretty cool.
Speaking of Easter eggs, we talked about this in person, Elvin, you and
Yeah.
I. But last week you said, tell me if you can find the Ghost Rider Easter egg. And it's when he gets in the elevator,
Yeah.
there's a little sticker, with a flaming skull
Yeah.
in the elevator
That
that,
was
he gets
badass. That was
in.
badass.
Yeah.
I love it when they sneak in. Did you guys see that, Nathan and Chris?
I'll have to check that out. I didn't see that.
You remember
I
the
see
scene when
the
he's freaking out
post.
in the elevator?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, arguably one of the best scenes
Yeah.
with the old lady.
My
friend's expecting me!
My contact lenses. I've lost my contact lenses.
Oh, I hope you find it. I don't know why she's British now, but...
Where was it? No. Well, okay. What have one of you guys maybe jump on here and continue forward? Who wants to take a little stab at some of this?
I can take a quick
Awesomeness.
poke.
Yeah, go for it.
So I think we're at the stage where he enters the room now. So he enters it, and of course, it's not. I thought it was going to be filled with Egyptian artifacts. I don't know what you all thought.
Yeah.
Do you think that as well?
I did, only because, it was a good trick. It was a good M. Night Shyamalan twist. Because you'd expect to see artifacts in there. Because, it's going back to Egypt. But no, it's not what I was expecting.
I honestly, when he opened the locker, what I was expecting was not that Burf or whatever it is. I was expecting him to have tons of guns.
Yeah.
Because Mark Spector is a CIA, ex-CIA agent, right? He's a mercenary.
True,
So.
There were a
true, but
couple
he's
in
not
the
like
bag.
John Wick or anything like that with just tons of guns.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
fact,
That's what I thought. I thought it was gonna be like a
agents.
Punisher-esque thing, right? Where he has a little fingerprint and another door opens up, and then bam, all the weapons are in
I
there.
liked it though.
right?
It's
Yeah.
kind of like Jason Bourne, where he's just got in the bag. It's the go bag. You grab it,
Yeah.
you go. It's got
Yeah.
everything you need. It's got the money, the passports, and I don't know if you noticed, but that bag had money in different. It was different currencies as well.
Yeah,
It
different
was
currencies,
American. There were euros. There was
There's no Canadian,
dinar.
unfortunately, because nobody cares about Canadian currency.
The only time
Yeah.
people go to Canada is if
There
they're
was
gonna like
rubles.
go far
I saw
north.
rubles in there,
Yeah.
but that's worthless anyways now.
But yeah, I mean, it was realistic because like a lot of CIA agents and like secret agent operatives, they usually have like one gun and it's small so they can conceal it, and
So
hopefully it's quieter.
he pulls out a passport. So
He pulls out a gun and goes, "Oh, of course."
yeah. Oh yeah. What else? He pulls out the American passport. So I always look for Easter eggs all the time when there's numbers.
I didn't look at this. Yeah.
So the passport, it says the date of birth. It says March 9th, 1987. Well, March 9th is Ashley Isaac's birthday. He was
Really?
born on March 9th.
Oscar Isaac.
Yeah, Oscar
cool.
Isaac was born on March 9th.
I'm
But the
older than
year-
him. What the
But
hell?
hold on. Let me finish. The year is he wasn't born in 1987. He's actually born in 1979.
Oh,
So
He's
the
old as fuck.
1987 reference is when MoonKnight, for the very first time,
Oh.
became part of the West Coast Avengers.
oh, nice.
Ooh.
That is the first time he joined the West Coast Avengers, which a lot of people are saying is sort of a connection to Shang-Chi because he's also part of the West Coast Avengers from San Francisco. So there's some sort of connection there, maybe, or maybe people just thinking, out there. But yeah, that's the West Coast Avengers appearance of MoonKnight.
Who else is in the
1987.
West Coast Avengers?
Sorry?
Scarlet Witch, Vision.
Yeah, there you go. See, Vision, Scarlet Witch. There was somebody else too. Was there a Cap? No, was it Captain America? No, can't remember. There's somebody else that was in there too. Okay, maybe
So that's
Iron
some
Man.
like hard-hitting people then.
West Coast, West Side. That's how you do the West,
Side.
Side. Yeah, so it's pretty cool that the little Easter eggs they dropped.
Is Biggie in there?
Oh my god.
So yeah, he obviously starts talking to his alter ego here, Mark, in the thing, and I always loved the back and forth with these two. It's so good, and Oscar Isaac really pulls it off as two different characters. Honestly, like, did you guys get that? I mean, for me, I really feel that they're two different characters.
He's
Well,
been doing
even
a
in
great
the
job with
first
that.
episode.
Sorry, I was wrong. Biggie's East Coast. I should have said it's Tupac in there.
Wait, I can't
Sorry.
remember. You said I didn't hear you say Biggie. I would have laughed at you.
I said Biggie. I said it's Biggie in there.
I thought you said
But I
Miss
should have
Piggy.
said it's Tupac.
I thought you
in
said
there.
Miss Piggy. I was like, okay, I don't
No,
know.
not Miss Piggy. I said it's Biggie in there, but I should have said it's Tupac in there.
Nathan, what were you saying?
Oh, I was just saying that I thought he's been doing a great job of it. He's been very convincing. It felt
Yeah.
very organic, and the characters actually feel very distinct. We have one person who's likable, who's an everyday person with a couple weird quirks, but you genuinely you can relate to him. And then you have Mark Spector, and we'll talk about it a bit later. But I know he's trying to do the right thing, but I really dislike Mark Spector right now.
Really?
I
You just like him?
Not like I don't like his character, like his development. I think having him in the story is good, but as a person, I don't like him. But we'll get to that soon,
Also-
I think.
It's funny because I have the opposite. I don't like Steven.
Really? Why not?
I don't. He annoys me. Like, he's starting to really piss me off. Like,
Fight!
shut up.
fight.
Let Mark take over, you idiot. You don't know how to fight.
I would say so. I think we'll have a bigger
Yeah.
discussion or a bigger ethical discussion when we get to the later scene. But another thing. Hey, nice Glencairn. Wait, we didn't do the thing. Nathan, what are you drinking?
I am a member of the Scotch Malt Whiskey Society, so I'm drinking something.
Ooh.
I thought that this would be appropriate for someone that he'd go to sleep and he'd do stuff,
We
but he
don't
couldn't
condone
quite.
any drinking here, folks. But
He can't.
Not at all.
He can't
no,
quite.
not at all. Nope.
But he can't quite remember what's going on at night. He goes out. So I thought it would be appropriate to have a whiskey called Sweet Sweet Memories.
You mean he blacks out?
Yes.
Very nice.
He's gonna let out his
Christopher, what are you
inner
drinking?
Moon Knight. What am I drinking? Well, I got this for my going away gift from a coworker. I'm gonna save that for this weekend, but I'm actually doing little mini shots of Van Gogh vodka
Hell yeah.
espresso. It
I
is
have also-
so good.
Yeah, I've also gotten those free at the liquor store when I buy other things.
That's
But they're pretty good. Elvin, what are you drinking? Other than sand.
due to these delicate bandages, I cannot have any liquids around me. So
You'll
I'm not-
disintegrate.
You have to drink what the Egyptians.
MoonKnight doesn't need to drink.
Well, you gotta have what the Egyptians actually
He
had,
just
which
has
is
demon
beer.
blood coursing through his veins.
See, it's,
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's
He has,
an Egyptian?
he has conchu juice.
oh my god. It's a good thing you're not doing this around when the pandemic first started and toilet paper was scarce.
Yeah, you'd be sitting in a
People-
fucking
somebody
like
would
$1 million
jump me, probably.
robe
Somebody
right
would
now.
jump
yeah.
me.
If we were doing this live, we'd have to like put you
The
in a
view
safe
count will
house.
go up so high because of the rarity of this costume.
You'd be trying to find where
Yeah,
you
it'd
live.
be like
to
MTV
track it
Cribs.
down.
You'd be like, "Yo, check out all my shit," and also I got toilet paper, bitch.
The biggest collection right here, baby.
Oh, Elvin, you're
Today we show the $1 million collection.
Oh,
Most expensive right here.
oh, Elvin, you're super absorbent,
Yeah.
but not strong enough that I won't finger something.
You gotta have double ply, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was gonna say, yo, how many ply you working with, dog?
Are you
I
also
shake it around like
ribbed?
I shake it around like Charmin. All right, let's get back into the show here. Whoever is listening
yeah,
to this is probably going, what are they
before we got-
talking
yeah.
about here? Like,
Before we got
we apologize to our
the non
podcast
sequiturs-
listeners. We're just off the
No,
rails
no, no.
sometimes.
You're here for a reason. You're welcome. Before
If
we
you're
got
here for
into a
Moon Knight
non-
review, we apologize. It's not happening.
yeah, eventually it will. It's
Yeah.
fine.
We'll get to it in the second hour.
precursor. Yeah, grab a drink. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah. If you're drunk, it
before
doesn't
I-
really matter what we're talking about.
Exactly.
You're not
That's,
gonna remember.
that's- drink more. It'll be better. Before I interrupted myself, I was gonna say I really enjoyed the fact that Mark Spector isn't just Oscar Isaac. The differentiation of Mark Spector and how Oscar Isaac is in person or on camera
Yeah.
is quite different as well, which it is kind of rare because there are a lot of movies where somebody's doing kind of like a split personality and the like normal guy or whatever, if they're playing different accents or different ethnicities or whatever, the straight man is always like, oh, it's just me. And there's some like erraticism and slight more aggression than Oscar Isaac generally is, which is good for immersion because it's not just like, oh no, it's Oscar Isaac yelling at a dude or whatever. So
And that's one thing I appreciate about that because, you know, this guy has multiple personalities. And one worry is like, how many different personalities are they going to try to introduce in a show? So they're basing just Steve and then, why can I, his name just slipped.
oh, hi Mark.
Yeah, thank you. It's great that they have these two main personalities because sometimes that one extra personality is more than you can handle and it doesn't deviate your attention. It's just like, oh, okay, there's another personality and blah, blah, blah. It's nice that they're focusing on two. So,
Yeah, they're just getting you stuck with two. Because, yeah, I like, what's another? Well, Split, for example, was an amazing performance.
Oh,
of like
yeah. That was such a good movie.
But in the first probably half of that movie, you're just like, who the fuck is talking right now? Which one?
yeah.
Like, there was a lot of times where you're like, you have to rewatch it kind of to be like, oh, okay, it's that guy, and okay, it's that one. And it was, but yeah, this one I do also enjoy. I agree that starting out with the two and like hammering in like the idiosyncrasies of the two characters has been done phenomenally so far.
Yeah.
You know what just hit me today? I was watching TV and there was a commercial for Dune, and I just realized that Oscar Isaac was in Dune and with the beard, and I'm like, holy shit, it was him. It
was a good fucking beard.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, that's a pretty thick beard.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, he's such an up and coming rising star.
Too bad Star Wars was shit.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
It's a nice.
That wasn't his.
But he was good at it.
He was not at all the problem with that. That trilogy. So.
And it's
No, none of the people that were in it were.
It's
And I heard a lot of them got very
great
frustrated with the writing.
Oh, yeah. But it's a great redemption from when he was Apocalypse, that's for sure.
I forgot.
I'm not saying he was
the
bad,
good thing is
but
he had makeup on anyway, so nobody would even remember, right?
yeah.
I forgot that he's already been technically in the MCU.
I think Oscar Isaac wants to forget too as well. So,
Well, I mean, they did the same thing with fucking Ryan Reynolds.
yeah.
So you
it
do
green
a
and
shit
animated.
X-Men, you do a shit X-Men movie, and then they'll just you get to do a redemption. That's fine.
Well, he got double pooped on, right? He did
Oh
a
yeah, he
shitty
did
X-Men.
get double because he had Green Lantern too. And that was
right?
fucking garbage.
He just got rolled. I mean, for any average actor,
Third
that
time's
would
a
be the
charm.
end of their career. Right?
Yeah,
So-
but he's just so lovable and fucking
Yeah.
Canadian. So
And of course, he
Yeah,
just
mate.
leaked the script online. That helped too.
yeah, all press is good press.
Yeah.
man. So we where are we now right now?
I guess he finds the scarab inside the bag.
Yes, and then it opens up and it does this weird compass thing where it levitates, points towards,
again-
I guess, south. Is it pointing south?
Well, Nathan, you called that as well last time
Yeah,
too.
it was pointing. I'm going to guess it was pointing kind of southeast because they're in London and it's pointing towards Egypt, kind of that direction. I'll admit, I was actually disappointed that they got it working and we kind of learned what it was so soon. I'd like it's always you always want to know what something is, but I do like having that air of mystery around it. So you think this is big, but I don't know
Are
what it
you
is.
one of those guys that wants him to go put it on one of those walls and it opens up a door?
No,
Is that
because
what you're
that
trying
would
to
be
say?
too predictable. But here's the
Turn
thing.
it clockwise and it opens up a door.
That probably will happen later.
Going to Nathan's comment about finding out too soon, we also got to keep in mind with Disney Plus series only being 6, 7, 8 episodes long, if they stretch it out too long, you still want to create that mystery of like, what's it do? I think they could have.
Well, we don't. There is still mystery shrouding around it because yes, it's a compass, but there's also some sort of hidden properties behind it as well, right? That's why they need it.
But if
that's why Arthur's trying to get it from them,
I
right?
think what they should have done is when he lost it during the battle and Arthur gets his hand on it, that's when he should have like activated it. It would have left a really good cliffhanger going into the third episode.
Yep, I agree.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he
I
just
would've
like
preferred
picks it
that
up
too,
and
yeah.
then it just does its thing and you're like, and then it's just like, it's a compass and you're like, oh, okay. Yeah, I agree. It would have added a little more gravity to it because like he doesn't know what the fuck it is, so like why did it activate when he held it? And it's not
I mean, I thought he was gonna say, Alexa, find me Egypt. Right?
well, yeah, because it didn't activate the last like 5 or 6 times he fucking held it.
It's
in
the
front of
Egyptian
camera
version
before.
of Alexa.
Yeah.
It's Egyptian map quest.
Hey, Anubis, can you find me? What's a messenger? Egyptian messenger god.
Actually, I'd probably pick the god of knowledge. No one knows how to pronounce his name, but it's like thought or thought.
I told you guys this guy knows his shit. There you go.
He's the god of like wisdom and knowledge and all that, so he'd probably be
Wait.
the equivalent of Alexa or Google.
How do you spell it?
Interesting.
T-H-O... Is it T-H-O-H or T-H-O-T? I think it's T-H-O-H.
If it's T-H-O-T and it is all knowledge,
It's
that is really funny.
T-H-O-T-H.
Oh, yeah, that would okay, yeah.
Thought. I've heard a lot of different pronunciations. It's
Hey, Toth, find me
It's
Egypt.
Thoth. That's how you say it. Thoth.
You so thothy. You're thothy.
Do you want to go to Egypt? Don't worry. Thoth will tell you.
All right, so he basically sends
Fucking Sylvester.
Alexa, I need pasta thought.
Flipper and fucking half.
Oh
I
my
can tell
God.
you.
Totally off the rails here, folks. This is awesome. So he basically gets the duffel bag and says, "You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna go and get myself caught, which I just think is the dumbest thing. This is why I don't like Steven. See, Nathan, I told you I don't like this guy.
No, I agree.
He wants to go and
This
put
is the
himself
one,
in jail
like,
while there's
ACAB.
people out there that
So,
he
like,
could save, right?
Yeah.
Well, when you think you're a killer,
Steven's a narc.
he thinks like his body has been killing people and he's got a gun. He's scared of what's going on. So I don't know. I feel like that he thought the logical way to go about this would to put himself in a situation where even if he became Mark, he couldn't escape, and then the bad guys couldn't get to him. He thought as a regular everyday person that was the right thing to do.
But the thing is, he just went to a country and saw a bad guy kill random people with magic. He had people chasing him in cars around a cliff, shooting at him. And Mark was the only one to save him from all these situations. That should be validation.
But also Mark got him in the situations. Motherfucker works at a customer.
Mark went to get
Motherfucker
something.
works in customer service. Like, he's just like, there's guys with guns, and I've seen people die. Like, fuck this. I'm going to the authorities. If these guys exist, there's probably some other like group of like CIA operatives that are trying to fight them. So I'm gonna go into a mental ward, and as he said, like in the episode, I'm gonna get them to pump me as full of as many drugs as possible, so that you can't take over because I won't be able to physically fucking move, and they'll deal with it. So like he's just like, just get me the fuck out of here.
Our buddy Michael is messaging me. He is just livid right now. He just watched episode 2 and he's like, the Mandarin that they spoke is complete horseshit.
I was going to say, okay, when we got to that
garbage.
part,
He's like, it doesn't make any
horrible.
sense.
It was like they were speaking fucking Italian. Like,
And
I don't know a lot
our friend
of Mandarin.
Michael, he's actually of Mandarin Chinese descent. Right?
He's
So,
yeah, exactly. Like if a
and
white
he's
dude
like,
who
it's
knows a
it's
little bit
total
of
garbage.
Mandarin, if a white dude who knows a little bit of Mandarin is like, I'm pretty sure that no, and then they just kept saying things, and then in the subtitles it was just like speaking Mandarin. I was like, well, that's fucking wrong.
He's like, he had to put it in Chinese subtitles to understand what they were
It was
saying.
bad. I thought it was wrong at first, and then like when I was reading it, it was like, oh, they're talking Mandarin. I was like, that's Italian. Like that's not any Asian language I've ever fucking heard. And then he's just like, oh, we all speak Mandarin. I was like, no, you fucking don't.
Yeah, that. When I heard it too, I'm like, that's the really weird Mandarin. You know, like that doesn't sound like Mandarin. But yeah,
on their faces when they were speaking, it looks like they were slightly constipated at the same time. So obviously they didn't know what they were doing. They were probably saying, "Hey, is there any toilet paper? I'm all out." You know.
Hey, watch what you say.
Where's MoonKnight when you need him?
Where did it all go?
I'm right here, baby. I'm right here.
Oh my god.
Oh, I'm the dark side of the moon, baby.
Don't you mean the brown side
so-
of the moon?
Oh, there's no brown side. There's only west side.
Corn?
So
When did I eat corn?
he's running in the locker and Conchu's following him, and I thought this was pretty cool effects. And then you
Yes.
see the slow-mo of him with the duffel bag just running, right? And then he gets out of there. I thought it was hilarious. I was just yelling. He's like, ah! Right? He's running through the lockers. And he goes right onto the streets. And funny enough...
Wait, no, hold on. Conchu starts chasing him. And we get a bunch of like cool strobe effects of him like running into like an MC Escher painting, essentially, of just like endless hallways and shit, and like all these lights keep turning on. We touched on it a little bit last episode, but the rendition that they've done of Conchu is so cool, and it's so close to the comic rendition too. Like it's borderline ripped straight out of the comics. Like even with like the floating head with like the weird like hair tendrils, like the
I don't know if you
tendons or
guys
whatever.
noticed this. If you watch
So
it in
cool.
slow-mo, you can actually see invisible neck.
Yes.
Oh,
You can see a silhouette of the neck.
So I'm
okay. I thought
head
it was
and the
like
shoulders.
tendons hanging down or something.
I'm wondering if we'll
If you
see
watch
a
it
little
again,
more of him. Because what he's wearing is just clothes. So if you're putting like mystical clothes on entities that you can't see in this world, so there's got to be another form of him that we're not seeing.
Well, in the dimension that he's stuck in, the pocket dimension that he's stuck in, he probably has his full-on form, God
I
form.
wonder if it's Alanis Morissette's pocket.
Oh, God.
Boom, boom.
Another one is peace sign.
I don't even know where to go with that.
It's a very
Anyways,
Canadian
so
joke,
He runs in the
okay?
streets. He runs in the streets, and Layla's there. I just found this really odd. I hate when this happens, where the timely bumping of each other. I really can't stand this in movies and TV shows. Like,
Yeah.
the odd of that happening never happens.
Yeah, but hasn't it happened to you?
Never.
At least, here's the thing. I get what you're saying, but at least they have a bit of a backstory of why and how it could have happened, because she
It's still
was
not good.
trying.
Explained it pretty good.
She was trying to contact him, and she hadn't heard from Mark in like 2 months. She was saying, so she went to hunt him down, and she knows.
Yeah, no, I understand
Yeah.
that part. I get that, hunting down and finding somebody, but the fact that he runs out into the streets and she happens to be right there, right at that second, driving by, like that's
It's fine. It's plot.
it's
It's for the plot. It's
lazy,
6 episodes.
lazy.
They can't.
She should have been at least
spend 2
around the
episodes
area
her
and then
fucking
sees
looking
him
for
and then goes to him. That would have made a lot more sense.
Yeah,
to
she's
me.
sitting over at the
Just
Krispy
laziness.
Kreme having a donut and like, oh my god, Mark.
No, it
She's
was
having
very
a,
convenient.
She's having a MoonKnight donut. It's a
Yeah.
white cream filling in the middle. So
It was
yeah.
explained quick enough, and it didn't bother me.
it
Where
was
she was
nonsense.
just well, because
Nathan, what's your take
he
on
was-
this?
Oh gosh, it was. I don't know. To be honest, I want to backtrack it just a tiny bit because that part didn't
Okay.
annoy me too much. The part that I wasn't a huge fan of when he was running through the hallway, that was great. The slow motion part, and there's one part where the lights just went on and they did like a freeze frame of him like screaming. I didn't like that.
That was weird. I agree too. That stood
It
out
was
to me.
an odd
'Cause,
choice of
yeah, it was like
editing.
a end of an 80s. Yeah, it was like the end of like an 80s
Slasher.
like rom-com where they like jump in the air. Or yeah, kind of like yeah, okay. Well, actually that kind of, when you put it that way, it kind of puts it in a better light, I guess.
Because I know
Because it
how
was kind of a slasher moment.
it was. I know how unlikely it is that he would see Layla just on the street, but I like to think that she kind of knows Mark. Well, she's his wife. She knows Mark. She knows what he would do, and so she might be going around areas she thinks that he would try and be in. So that's how I tried to justify that. But then the actual editing work, that's separate from the plot.
What I would have liked is to see him bumble his way in the streets, holding the duffel bag and freaking out, and then she would find him and she'd be like, "Mark, get on, you idiot! Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you acting like this?" And then he'd be like, "Who's Mark again?" And then does that whole stupid thing, like, like, "Who are you?" Right?
Well, he kind of was super confused by it too. He was just like,
Yeah.
how the fuck did you find me? And she was like, I
Well,
was tracking you. You
if
turned
he
your
was
phone
confused
on.
there, the bomb that she drops, like, "We're married," he
Oh,
might as
yeah.
well just jumped off the bike at that point. Like, just, I'll just take my chances rolling down
It's
the
like,
hill
fuck
here.
no, I don't
Right?
want
So-
marriage.
Yeah.
Actually, do you know what? I think she knew he was in that area because she was tracking his phone. So if he had the phone on
Yeah.
him still,
Yeah.
which he did, he would have known. Okay, he's somewhere.
But I'm just saying that the interception part, like, how he ran out full speed, and she happens to be right there that second, driving right by. That the tracking part even makes more sense. The fact that she could have waited somewhere nearby and sees him running out into the
Well,
streets, then catches up with him. I mean, I'm just
I
nitpicking
know.
here.
I'm
but
like,
just saying
you
those
are
kind of
way
things
too
kinda drive me nuts,
nitpicking
right?
this. I'm like, they have a story to tell.
Oh, I'm allowed to nitpick,
and
right?
you
I'm
don't
allowed
want
to
to
nitpick.
linger on something
Tell the
that
story
doesn't
well.
make sense.
I'm paying what, $18 a month? Tell the story well. Okay, so
$18 a month.
that's Disney Plus.
Oh, I just get.
Yeah, I know what you do, yeah.
I get a yearly Star Wars payment. That's pretty much it. This is a bonus for me.
Okay, so they get on the bike. She mentions that they're married, and he freaks out, and he's
Casually.
like, "Let's get to the apartment, my flat." And they get there, and the goldfish, by the way, is safe. So
Yep.
that goldfish should have its own T-shirt. I'm surprised they're not milking that.
What's his name again?
Gus.
Is it Gus? There
Gus.
you go. Thank you. Gus. Gus is good. Still got two
Gus.
fins.
Well, is this still Gus
Two
technically?
tails.
If it's
No, this is Gus 2.
This is Gus 2?
We're doing some like Little Shop of Horrors shit. This is Gus 2.
And she is in the room there with him, and she sees all these books. She's trying to figure out, like, does this guy is he really bullshitting, or is he truly somebody else, right? And he's trying to explain it to her. And well, somebody else want to come, jump in here? Who wants to kind of take over? Nathan, Justin, anybody else?
Well, she starts like asking about like, oh, you study these hieroglyphs or whatever, and then he starts going, yeah, actually, I do. Oh, and there's this poetry book that she picks up, and this French poet, and then he starts reciting in French, and the great thing that the writers did was actually use the fucking language that they're talking about, and he started speaking French, and you know what? It sounded like French, so weird. So he starts reciting all these French poems, and then he's just like, oh yeah, it's my favorite poet. And she's like, no, it's my favorite poet. So now, Elvin, I'm going to have to ask you this because I don't know, I'm not super well versed. So her character.
Okay, yeah.
Give me the backstory of her, because it sounds like...
This is
wait, do I really want to know? Because it's probably going to get explained in some upcoming episodes.
No, this is... So... I don't know if Justin, were you alluding to about who she is in the MCU?
Kind of. So, okay. So I know that her character is new to this rendition of Moon Knight because there is a few people that a lot of her character traits and story points are taken from in the comics. But I think what they're doing is... throughout this season, they're going to start picking away at Steven's character because this was all that... It's like Steven, we're going to learn at the end, is not the real person. Because like this whole show so far has been like, Steven's a good guy, he's the main guy, this is his brain, and he's in trouble. But it's going to turn out that, no, Mark just created this dude... and just stole all this shit from his wife and all these character traits and like all these hobbies and things that he loves, because that's the person that he has to base it off of, because that's the person that he knows best is his wife. So he's just stealing all these hobbies and shit and creating this
I can see where you're going with that. That would be a great twist to find out that Steve isn't the main personality. I like the thought of that.
Oh, spoiler.
Going back to the character Layla, it was obviously created for the MCU. It's a whole new character, but she does have a little bit of a mix between in the comics, Moon Knight's love interest was Marlene, and her dad was also somebody who was an archaeologist scientist. So what they've done is basically merged the daughter and the dad into like one character, sort of given Layla that sort of background where she has a little bit of history with Moon Knight previously with Mark, right? Because she knows Mark first. She knows Mark went through and got all the stuff done. So what's so funny?
I just realized again I'm talking to a fucking mummy. And you're just telling us facts so deadpan. You got a bunch of... or you've got red on you.
For those who are listening, Justin can't stop laughing at this amazing costume that I've put on.
For all our
and if you're listening and you're wondering what costume I'm wearing, go on to our YouTube channel and subscribe there and watch our video live, because we're a hoot here live. We're all having all kinds of fun. We got red
props
background.
And shit.
We got red background lights. We've got purple background lights. We've got a lamp.
Oh my god.
And we got awesome sound in our production. Yeah. So we got all... We're doing crazy things on YouTube. So go check us out on our YouTube channel and subscribe there if you're listening to on our podcast. If you're already a subscriber, awesome. Thank you. You have a chance to win a prize every month.
Every month?
Every month.
Every month. What are they going to win this month, Elvin?
Actually, I have somebody.
Somebody? You're giving somebody away?
I get a new family.
We're gonna give Nathan for the day.
She's your personal assistant.
No one will sign up then.
He's gonna be your personal Moon Knight for the day. We actually have two. We have female Loki from the Marvel Legends retro
Nice.
packaging. We're going to give that away. And we're also going to give a Doctor Strange figure away in May.
Ooh.
So
Sweet.
coinciding
That's not
with it.
this
By the way,
month.
did any of you guys get your tickets for Doctor Strange? They came out at midnight.
Did you order? I thought we were gonna go
No.
see it.
So I've got I went and got tickets for Saturday night at 6:30, 4 tickets. But our friend D messaged me and said, "Hey,
What day?
You want to go see it on Thursday in the daytime? I'm gonna go see it. I have an extra ticket." I'm like, "Sure." So I guess D likes me more than you, Chris. So
That's
invited me to
okay.
go.
Some
What
people
day did it
have
come out?
really.
I'm kidding. I know you're working.
No,
Chris.
no,
We
it's
knew you were
fine.
working.
It's okay that people
What's-
have shitty taste in friends.
Oh, Shitty Chase. So what? The movie? The movie? What? Were you saying that I'm a bad person to go to movies with, Chris?
No, he's just saying
did
that
it-
he's
No,
better.
I'm saying he just has
he's
bad
better?
taste. That's all. I didn't say anything about
He
you.
has bad taste. Wow, I can't believe you said that about D. Such a nice guy.
Well, he's not
Yeah.
here, so
D, if you're listening, don't listen to them. They don't know what they're missing. You're awesome.
what day does it come out? Is it Saturday?
March 6th. Oh, sorry, May 6th.
Oh, way the hell. Okay, I have no idea if I'm.
Yeah, May 6th.
I will watch this one in the same
But
month that it
it's
comes
crazy
out.
because I tried to get tickets for Saturday at 6:30 and they were almost sold out. I had to get tickets. So my seats are sort of in the middle, like 2 are in the middle and 2 are to the left. But all the seats for all the other show times were gone. It
Dude,
was
did you
sold
guys
out.
see the new
That's
setup
crazy.
they have at Landmark? You got general seating, and now there's premium seating.
Yeah. Yeah, D got me a premier seat. So
I'm sure you
Nice.
guys
We
are
gotta keep
gonna
the
heat
plebes
up
away
the
from
seats
us.
really well together.
we better. We're flaming hot, baby. We're flaming hot. We're gonna have all kinds of popcorn and butter.
Hey D, want some popcorn? Just reach in the bucket.
No. D's gonna throw it in my mouth, and I'm gonna throw it back to popcorn.
Oh, he's gonna throw something in your mouth.
Yeah. Yeah, you would like that too.
Why does it taste
All right,
artificial?
we're getting whipped.
Oh, I didn't get real butter this time.
I've got the
Chris
synthetic
knows all too well about artificials.
Hey, when you had to quarantine for
Isn't
so
it-
long. No.
That's why he was a Mac to put out some color.
You gotta improvise.
Nathan's like, what are we doing here?
He's like, I thought we were talking about
Nathan
MoonKnight."
told you.
Oh. We're talking about moons, all right.
Again, I apologize to our listeners.
Don't apologize for shit. They're here for a reason.
Oh boy, they're here for a review, and we are giving them a review.
Yep.
Just not the one they were looking for.
It's not the review you wanted. It's the review that you deserved.
know-
I don't remember what
All
the
right, let's
saying
get back
is.
on track here.
Yeah, what
so
the fuck's happening in this episode? Are you eating Triscuits?
No, these are gummy bears, but they're
Weed
made
gummies.
They're,
You're just like,
they're made from cold brew and bourbon.
Ooh.
what
Yeah,
the fuck? Where did you
Is he
get
an
those?
alcoholic? What is he doing?
Hey, fuck you! Don't judge. Those sound amazing. Where do you get them, and where can I?
They're really
That's
good.
that's weed. That's like the weed gummy equivalent for people who like whiskey.
Yeah.
This guy is just packing back the whiskey.
He's like, after.
Do you have a whiskey cologne as well? It's called dousing yourself with Jack Daniels.
Yeah, it's just I Nathan, I just finished my bottle of Pike Creek,
Pike Creek.
so I'll have to get again. You need to go and try and find this. It's the cheapest 21-year-old whiskey you can find. It's Canadian and it's delicious. And
Is it
now
high
I
in
need to go
rye?
Get another one.
Is it a rye whiskey mostly, or?
Do you guys need a moment for your own segment about whiskey?
It's
Whiskey talk with
sherry
Justin and
cask
Nathan?
finished. So it's a sherry cask finished. It actually doesn't give me the ingredients.
No worries,
It
sherry
doesn't
cask
tell me
is-
if it's a rye.
Sherry cask is a very good. I love sherry cask whiskey.
How about we share
Yeah.
about it the podcast here? Okay, let's get going here.
Hey,
Hey,
nice segue.
where I don't even know where we are. Are we with Arthur
Um,
now? Is he hanging with Arthur?
No.
We're still
The
in the
police,
apartment.
are just about to walk
Yes.
in.
Oh yes, these
Cops show
these,
up.
Mall cops show
Cops.
up.
Well, yeah. So wife and Mark are in the apartment. He's trying to explain things, and also defend himself. And also, he goes to his duffel bag and is just like, "Fuck it, I'll show you everything because I'm scared and I want help." And then
Mark's like, I don't know if you want to do this.
Steven's showing her everything, and then Mark's in a reflection being like, "Don't you dare! Don't show her! Don't tell her! Don't pull it out! Don't!" And then he's just like, "Whatever! I don't care! I don't like you!" Blah blah blah. And then he starts like pulling stuff out of the duffel bag, and then he's just like, "If you show her, she's dead." And he's just like, "Nothing. There's nothing in here. It's a cool bag. Do you like my bag?
Just my dirty laundry."
I'll go to the gym or to the press. And and then she brought divorce papers because apparently, I don't know, whatever.
That was sad. He's like, "I don't want to divorce you."
Yeah. Oh, he's so lovable.
Hey, I like that. I like that characteristic
That's why I hate
about him.
Steven. What a loser.
No, fuck you. That's adorable.
Mark's
it's
hardcore.
just
I love
like-
him. He's awesome.
Yeah. Well, no. Okay, they're both great. We're gonna get into the philosophical shit in a couple scenes because I know we're gonna butt heads and it's gonna be great. That's why I'm drinking. So then he doesn't show her the scarab because he cares about her. You know, this is a person who's showing compassion and.
But doesn't he hand her
No,
the
she
scarab?
takes it out.
Okay, no, wait. There's one more thing. She says, "Oh, you're talking to your mom again," and that
Yes.
sets him aback too, because he's just like,
So that validates that there is a mom.
"It kind of."
But who's
He's
mom?
not really talking.
Or
He's not
whose
really
mom
talking
exactly.
about.
So is it? I do agree with you, Elvin, what you said last week of how the postcards, and the phone calls or whatever are something that's orchestrated by Mark. And there's some confirmation on that because the postcards that he's getting are all the same ones from the fucking museum that he works at. Not museum.
Museum.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, museum. Yeah.
Yeah. All the postcards that he was getting from his mom and tacking up, there's a couple of minutes because I watched it a few more times after he like looks at the postcard and goes, "Oh, great, mommy, all right," and then tacks it up. The next scene when he's at the museum, you see the same fucking postcards in a rack, and you're just like, "Oh shit, those are fake." So the fact that she says, "Oh, you're speaking to your mom again," is very intriguing in that regard because that means either Mark's also lying to her, which I mean, dude's fucking divorcing her, so that's not super hard to imagine.
But I mean, it could just be Layla's talking about Mark's mom instead of Steven's mom.
Yeah,
and I think maybe Mark is doing this for Steven just to make sure Steven is a sane part of him, right?
Oh yeah,
it's
100%.
This is all largely orchestrated by Mark to put Steven in a corner and keep him there, and somehow Steven has broken through that wall now and is causing all kinds of problems for Mark, right?
But the theory that his mom's dead, there is a mom, and it might be a thing where he meets this lady and he's just like, "Who the hell are you?" And so no. But then cops bash on the door, and he opens up and he's like, "All right, yeah, you all right?" And they're like, "Can I come in?" And he's like, "Yeah, kind of
Is that your accent?
yeah." They kick down the door. Layla's gone, and he gives her the scarab, and then they start searching the place, and then I forget.
And then
they take him, right? They take him
yeah.
into the vehicle, and then he sees he goes to the neighborhood where Arthur is sort of hiding out. That's his headquarters. And then the door opens up. He falls onto the floor, and then you see Arthur's cane. Arthur's pick him up and get them to uncuff him, and he basically ushers him into the neighborhood. You know, cobblestone with all kinds of vegetation around them.
I just want to add in before they start walking around, they really introduced an interesting piece of the story when, you know, Arthur stood him up. And he could see the jackal in the background, and he's like, "What's he saying to you? Like he knows he's there?"
What's the?
No,
that's Khonshu. Sorry.
Khonshu. Yeah.
like he's aware that he's around. So now it's just like, okay, what does he know?
Well, it's. I think what the reason why he knows he's there is because he drops a major bomb when he's having a conversation with Steven, saying, "I was the first avatar that Khonshu chose."
Yeah,
that is insane.
And then he starts like Khonshu will just be like, "I am justice," and he's like, "Oh, is he telling you he's justice?" And then Steven's just like,
"Can you hear him? Can you hear him?"
I thought it was a.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, Chris.
I think it's a good kind of way of. It's almost like that classic angel devil on your shoulder. It's like your two conscience, telling you what's Khonshu's. Telling you what's good or bad.
Wait
He's
a minute,
like torn between the two. Like he doesn't know who to believe. So I like that aspect of what's going on. Interesting way of looking at it.
Nathan,
Justin, you're saying something, Justin?
Nathan, English is a fucking garbage language and steals everything from every other language and is completely original.
Well, yeah.
I know that a lot of our words, like, 35%
Latin and Hebrew.
35% of our words are French. The rest are Latin, Germanic, and Hebrew. So, in some descendants, is Khonshu... did we steal conscience from that? Hold on, my linguistics nerd bit of me. Where does
Nathan,
the
you and I get a take on this?
My guess is no. I don't know for sure because I don't know every word in the English language where it's from. But that sounds
It's Latin.
Yeah.
That's all.
But I mean, in a way, he is his conscience, right? Because he's talking inside his mind, right?
Oh,
and he's telling
no, never mind. I saw etymology and saw an E, a Y, and I was like, oh, Egyptology. But then I read it more, and just, no. So this was the scene that I was like, we're gonna have a fight about. So,
all right.
What's Ethan Hawke's character's name again?
Arthur Harrow.
Did you say
Arthur
Hawks?
Yeah, Ethan Hawke. Am I
Arthur? Yeah,
Arthur. Yeah.
Harrow.
Yeah, okay. That is the actor. Okay. So Ethan Hawke sits Steven down, and he starts talking to him while Khonshu's fucking sitting in the rafters, just like, just riffing. And
isn't it crazy how he throws the stuff in the kitchen?
Like a child.
yeah, so he and then so he
he's
throws
like a hissy fit guy, right? Like this.
And then he's like, oh, you're vegan? Oh, I'm a vegan too. You should really try the lentil soup. It's really great. It's that guy's recipe. And then he speaks some Spanish or something, and it's the actual
I guess the Spanish
language.
was better than Mandarin because I don't have my Spanish.
Yeah, because it was the correct words. I thought the subtitles were wrong because it was so bad. Which, okay, so far in this series, like, if that's the biggest thing that we're complaining about, it's
yeah.
like that's somebody who didn't do their homework and
Probably is fired now.
Yeah, is either fired or not getting a raise. So like that's a writer. Anyway, so then they sit down and they have some soup, and you get the Adam Driver scene where he's like, "Good soup," and then he starts talking to him about Khonshu and how he was rejected and he got kicked out, and he's like, oh yeah, he throws tantrums like a 5-year-old. And oh he's telling you he's justice. Yeah, okay. So Elvin, you were saying that you don't like Steven, but and I can see where you're coming from, but at this point in the series, I don't know who the good guy is, and that fucking blows my mind.
What do you mean by who the good guy is?
Whether it's Ethan Hawke or it's
definitely not
Nathan.
Ethan. It's definitely not
I know,
Arthur.
but in that scene, that really set me apart, and I was just like, you know what? Like, and then he like goes, oh, you're fine with killing children or whatever, which, you know, just seems like the extremity of the counter argument of that. But when he was talking about Khonshu, and he's just like, Yeah, well, when he goes and you become the Fist of Vengeance, which I used to be, it's too late. They already fucking killed a bunch of people and did a bunch of bad shits. I'm here preemptively doing it, and I was just like, you're both wrong, but it's the lesser of two evils. And that's a very interesting story. It's not who's the good guy and who's the bad guy. You're literally like, there's this guy who's a 5-year-old and is just like killing bad guys because he fucking feels like it. And then there's this person who is acting all high and mighty and is a cult leader and is just like, I know when you're about to do a bad thing. And
I've already seen this before, and the movie's called Minority
Who's
Report.
the asshole here? Absolutely, this is 100% like Ethan Hawke is just like, I'm Tom Cruise.
Well, let me throw this at you guys here, and then you guys can take turns giving your take on this. So, with the god Amit, there's no distinction of how somebody kills somebody, right? If they're in their life cycle that they are on Earth, if they are meant to kill somebody, they're automatically deemed not worthy, and they will be killed by her. But here's the thing with Khonshu, it's different. Like, he waits for something to happen bad, and then he takes action.
Yeah.
What this whole story, what Steven was trying to get at with the kids and things like that is what if somebody accidentally killed someone? There's accidents happen all the time on Earth, right? There's somebody who accidentally kills somebody because they made a wrong turn in a traffic light or something like that. So does that mean that person is doomed to death by Amit? Or is there room for redemption for that person to be better in life? Or it's because it's pure accident, it wasn't their fault, and the gods should look not down on them, but allow that person to live out their life. So there's a black and white with Ahmed, but what Steven's saying is there should be more of a gray as well, where you allow some people to live and not kill them, because black and white doesn't mean that they're still a bad person. It's just there's no room for understanding in there. So I think that's what he's trying to get at with
we
Arthur.
always have stories in the past in life. There's always a yin to a yang. There's always going to be that balance of life and death, It's kind of crappy how they're using a god to play off that sense. I'm just like, she just automatically takes the life in her own hands to decide, okay, well, you're gonna die because you're gonna commit something. That's not the way the world works. People do change, and change can happen. And she's that type of god who is so closed-minded. So, it's... But I get that they have to go with that story.
Or is Amit more all-knowing than that? And it's...
Well, she is. And
exactly. So that was what I meant by, like, yes, they're, like, in our human comprehension of good and evil. It's like, well, there's good in everyone, and there should be chance for redemption. And as Steven was saying, oh well, you're just gonna kill a child because he's gonna do bad things, and then he never says yes. He never agrees and just is like, yeah, I'll fucking narc a kid, whatever. So he's never like,
but it's
he
more
never
than that,
responds. Though. But like, it might be like his argument for that, or the clarification of that is just like, the people who are judged, or the person who is judging them, is all knowing, and it will only say no to the ones that will not be redeemed, and even given the chance and all this, will still do evil. And that old lady that he killed in Germany was Hitler 3 or Hitler 2 or whatever, and she can't be redeemed.
That, though. I think it's more than that. It's not just she's all-knowing. I think what it is she's not unforgiving. So, like what I was saying was, if somebody accidentally kills somebody, she is not forgiving of that aspect. She's like, nope, you kill somebody, doesn't matter, you are deemed not worthy. Nathan, I want your take on this. What do you think?
Well, I don't think of this so philosophically. gods in the Mediterranean world are notoriously childish. They are known for just being horrible
Look at the-
horrible
So is
people.
this crew right
And
now.
you know what? Sorry, before you go on,
We're being adults right
it's
now. I'm
exactly
drinking
like
whiskey
the
and a
Greek
beer.
gods. Like, if you heard the backstory of like Zeus and
Norse gods too.
it's like holy
They're all
shit.
fucking
But
children.
go on.
Yeah, yeah, dude. Norse gods like, oh, I'm gonna go have illegitimate children. Then she's gonna get pissed. Then she's gonna kill me, and then fuck it, I'm gonna send off 3 of my other baby mamas after her, and then my 4 illegitimate children are gonna go kill her because I told them to. Like,
you're narrating the Vikings for me.
yeah, no, like that's Norse mythology. It's
anyway,
all
they-
just like,
What were you saying about
if we're
children?
looking at examples from cultures similar to Egypt, if you look at like in Greece, Athena, the famous story of Arachne, the weaver who gets turned into a spider because she brags about how good at weaving she is and how she's a better weaver than Athena. And Athena incognito challenges her to like a weave off, and of course the mortal wins. And she's just
fuck you, I'm
yeah,
a
so she
spider
just turns into a
now.
spider. So thinking about someone, if they're willing to do that just over
Yeah.
weaving and bragging,
Yeah.
they'd easily be okay with killing someone because they know that they're like evil at heart. So I fully understand both Khonshu
Okay.
acting like a child, but also I'm willing to do this act before. Also, sorry, it's important to keep in mind these gods, they're not Abrahamistic god. It's not the Abrahamistic god, so they're not all knowing. They're very very human-like.
There you go. There's your
Yeah.
answer. Okay, so
That,
here's
that was the only kind of clincher for it, because yeah, if like that was kind of the scapegoat. If they're all knowing and omnipotent or whatever, then it's like, okay, well, we are mortals, you know, they know better or whatever. But if they're not as I thought they might be, then it's just like, okay, then it's pretty cut and dry. Who's an asshole here?
So she's not all knowing. So does that mean that she's just her job is to just either pick good or bad? If they did something bad, they're automatically never going to be redeemed. Is she just that black and white? Is that her character? Just one way or the other. There's nothing in the middle to even think
So
about.
one of the symbols that they use is the scales. And
Yes.
in our last podcast, we talked about how she will actually weigh the person's like soul against the feather
But
mat.
is it weighing versus the good that they've
It
done
is-
versus the
No,
bad
it's
they're doing?
weighed against the feather mat. That's kind of like it's able to see. It's a judgment of if they have done good things in their life or bad, and this usually only happens after they've died. They're trying to like move on.
They're weighing the
Yeah,
heart.
so
right?
in Marvel, instead, they're doing it while the person's alive. So from my understanding, when Arthur does that weird with the cane, it rocks back and forth.
Yeah.
He's looking into their heart, and he's being able to judge: does this person are they willing to kill someone in the future? Are they able to have that ability if someone wrongs them, or they're in that situation where they could kill someone? Would they do it, or would they not? So that's kind of how I interpret this.
It'll be interesting. Or can she be
probably.
deceptive too?
All
gods
gods
are
usually are.
Right.
Yes, for sure.
So I mean, but what if she's tricking Arthur, and what if Arthur's being tricked here or manipulated here by her? Because the thing is, she needs him to go find her bones, and then that way she has the presence to come into this universe,
You could.
right?
So
right
that's
now,
why she's keeping him alive.
Yeah.
When the scales were being measured, and it's just like, I don't know, keep him alive or whatever, and it's not saying he's
Yeah.
good, because then he would. Yeah.
that's the only way she can come. And by the way, whatever she can do, Khonshu can do as well. So if Khonshu's bones were to be found as well, he can actually come to this world as well, and no longer needs Mark or Steven as a conduit to do justice on this universe. So, and the other thing I believe is he's sort of on the side here with the rest of the gods. They've shunned him away because of the way he's doing things. So I think he's also trying to get redemption to get back into the good graces of the rest of the with the rest of the gods in the plane that they're in. So there's a lot of things going on here, and one of the things I read about Khonshu is he's very selfish. He's not a caring. He's sort of like an opportunistic type of god, where If things go his way, great. If they don't go his way, he's gonna have a hissy fit, and we see that. And he's sort of like, he's not a good guy or a bad guy. He's just, hey, I just want things done.
Why
for
does
me
this sound
to
like
make me
Donald
look good
Trump
in front of the rest of the gods? That is his character.
Okay, I have a question.
Okay.
Why is Khonshu so butt mad about what's her name? The
Father God.
Amit?
the other god, Amit.
Amit.
Why is he so like heart set on
I have
fucking
a
up
feeling
her
they'll
plans?
probably
Like,
explain
why is that?
There's probably
the-
like a rival between them.
I think he knows the god, and I think because here's the thing: when Amit does get the chance to come to this portal and have regained the full power of who she is, she's gonna wreak havoc, and I think that's gonna reduce the plans for Khonshu to get onto this, because at the end of the day, Khonshu wants to come onto this plane, right? The way the gods in the MCU work is these gods. There's small gods and there's big gods in the MCU. And the way it works with gods is the more people devote to them, the more powerful they are.
But
So
they're
he needs-
arguably trying to do the same thing. They're arguably both trying to just kill people who are assholes.
Well, no, one is gonna kill when things happen. The other one will just flat out destroy everybody. Pretty much.
Yeah,
Go
but
and
I mean, the end
eradicate
game
everybody right off
is
the
just
bat.
Kill bad people.
But he's gonna
and
kill bad people.
One
when he-
person's one god's method may be more efficient, but like they're both like Khonshu, like as
No,
Ethan
but
Hawke's
Khonshu
character
will
said,
only
like,
kill people
he
if it's
only kills
in
people
his own
after they've done it.
self-interest. Khonshu's only going to kill people of his own self-interest. He's not going to waste his time trying to be a superhero everywhere. He doesn't care about what happens down the other side of the country. He's only caring about what's happening around him that's going to affect him. He's
But
caring
how do
about
her plans affect him?
Well, maybe he sees it as
Okay,
like
so
an
I just
injustice.
said that. Look, so I just explained why her plans will affect him. Is they need devotees, they need devotion. The more people believe in that person, the more stronger that god will become.
Oh, so he's just pissed because she's gonna
Yeah,
thin the
if she
herd,
goes and
he's like,
eradicates
some of
these
that
people-
herd might fucking like what I do.
Yeah, exactly. So that he
okay.
doesn't become strong. So he doesn't get that
Okay.
devotion, right?
Alright.
That's how the MCU gods powers these gods powers in the MCU. I know it's not
Actually,
the real world
that
what
is
the
also
histories
depicted
are.
because I watched Xena, and the gods, the Greek gods, and there's in some episodes talk about this new god that people start believing in, and the belief starts getting bigger with the new god, which is the current god, and so the Greek gods start losing their powers because they lose believers, the worshippers. So we've seen it
The worshippers,
in
yeah.
different types of storylines. So it's not necessarily only in the MCU. It's definitely reflection of what we've seen and heard before.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're literally just big corporations, and the more people who have stock, in them,
Amazon
the
and
more-
Yeah, it's
eBay.
Coke and Pepsi.
There you go.
Well,
They can
eBay's
buy-
done.
they can-
eBay's done.
Buy out more
Jeez, can we
political
not get a
influence
freaking
and,
TV show
pay less
that's not
taxes.
political?
So really, the gods are just
Seriously.
right. Oh my god,
Nathan, you want to add to this about with the devotions?
I think that they might very well do that. I feel like such a simpleton.
What? Bring on Coke as a
Why do you feel like a
I
simpleton?
think maybe
you're our Egypt
I think
specialist.
in this case,
Egyptologist?
I think
Yeah, there you
Khonshu in this case may just be trying to do his justice, or at least his form of justice, where he sees that these people they're killing a lot of people, and from his perspective, they're innocents because they haven't done anything wrong yet. So he's trying to stop them, and of course, bringing Ammit into this world, he knows that would cause a lot of death, and so he's trying to prevent that. So that's his form of justice, is seeking this sort of action.
Yeah.
Damn it!
I mean,
I can't change
I
your
just think- I
lower
just think
third
it's-
as Nathan. I was going to change it as Egyptologist.
I think it's more of
Disappointed in you, StreamYards.
I think what it comes down to is I just think that all the gods are there to look after themselves and get stronger themselves. They don't really give a shit about the well-being of humans. I'm just talking about in the sense of this MCU world, right? That they're built for. Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty accurate description though for most of them.
Just in general, they are peons. They
I'm
are
trying
literally
not
people
to
here
piss off
to
anybody.
worship.
Okay.
No, you're fine. You got the green light. You're pissing on everybody. It's fine. They're all just like, the more motherfuckers I can get to look up and say I'm awesome. Like they're just all narcissists.
Or bow
It's
down.
fine.
Or bow down.
Whatever. Tomato.
Yeah, I mean,
or then, Italian Mandarin, whatever you fucking call it.
I'm waiting to see the because we saw it in the trailer. I'm waiting to see the plane that he's in, because he does take him to that universe, and we did see a door open in one of the trailers. So I'm looking forward to that plane that they cross, and Khonshu shows the other side, and we do get to meet some of the other gods, because there's a scene where they're inside the pyramid and the other gods are there too. So I'm looking forward to seeing that episode.
Well, if I could quickly interject here, in Egypt, in certain tombs, there is a doorway, and that doorway, it's very small. It's a fake doorway, so you look at it and it's just kind of a wall. But the idea behind it is, when the person who's been mummified is in the tomb, their spirit is able to essentially walk through there and go into the land of the dead, the field of reeds. And so that's kind of the other world.
River Styx.
So now that he's in Egypt, I have a feeling, I could be wrong, but I have a feeling that we'll see in the next episode or the episode after that, him going into the other the other space, the other dimension.
I am looking forward to that.
One of those doors in the tomb.
Yeah.
So far, you're batting 1,000 with your predictions.
Let's get into this big scene here. So he's having lunch, and then lunch is all done, and he's asking for the carob, and he's like, "No, I don't have it." And he's like, keeps asking him, and then all of a sudden, Layla shows up.
Tracked him by himself.
How did
Layla
that
was
know
kind of
he
weird.
was there?
I mean,
did he have his phone with him?
We'll assume the phone.
Or she may have followed the car, because
Well,
she knew that the cops were there.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah.
She was on the roof.
Car. And then so she basically runs upstairs and knocks some poor guy off the table.
No. First off, you're missing out of the first, I think, and only plot thing that I was just like, that's fucking dumb. And he's just like, "Where's your scarab? Who hasn't?" And she was like, "I do." And it's like, well, okay, fuck off.
Yeah, I know. I did it on purpose because it was so fucking annoying. Like, it was so dumb.
It was dumb. That I was just like, why? Like it ended fine.
What purpose did that serve?
Exactly. Like why? What part of her was just like, this is a good idea? I'm in the bad guy stronghold. There's a guy who can. I assume she knows who he is.
I know why. It goes to the title. Summon the suit.
Yeah.
I think she thinks that. Oh
no. Summon the suit does not excuse bad writing.
Save me for doing something stupid I just did.
I agree with Elvin, because she's probably seen him at his most powerful.
Actually, you know what? Yeah, and she did keep ragging on him to like, okay, summon the suit, now do the thing, because I think she does have like a false sense of security of just like, all right, you're here to grab intel, and I can just do whatever I want.
And those are the people you just
fucking end of the world. So
it's
I'll just come in and be like,
it was still dumb though. It was still dumb.
It was. No, it absolutely was. But that explanation does make sense, because she did keep
That's
being
the
like,
annoying
"Summon the
thing
suit,
is
do the
like
thing,
you
kill
get
everybody."
people who are like,
she's seen it a
someone
lot.
can do an impersonation or something, and they're like, do it, and then you're like, I can't do it because you're being a fucking annoying little shit. Stop asking, and I'll do it.
Yeah.
No, I'm just like, seriously.
That's very personal of you, Chris.
All right, Chris.
All right, so they climb up the ladder. They go to this. They go to some room, right? What is it? The man cave for Arthur or something, right?
Yo, that was a good bit.
Is it a wizard's man cave or something?
Well, before that,
Yeah.
So before that, Ethan Hawke goes
with
like,
the staff. Oh.
Do you know what the staff is? And he's like, it's crocodiles. And then he goes, this is imbued with a fraction of the power of whatever.
A sliver.
Yeah, and then it turns purple, and you're just like, oh shit, it's purple. That means he's a bad guy. And then he does the thing, and it cracks. CG in this episode, awesome. There was no point, like, we fucking ragged on the CG of last episode because it was fucking garbage. This episode, every single shot of CG was amazing. And we kind of predicted that, because usually first episodes is like the pilot or whatever. So very little of the budget goes to that. And again, everything that we were mad about of the CG could have been solved with a week of renders and like extra assets and shit. So it absolutely was a budget thing, because he fought 3 completely CG things, and also there were so many scenes of him getting pulled and thrown around and fucked up by an invisible thing. Those were all amazing. Every single one of them was so cool.
So let's talk about that. Let's get into that.
Yeah, so they go up, they say oh no, I'm gonna die in a dark wizard's man cave.
A wizard man.
And and there's all these like, okay, so that room, there was a bunch of corpses or mummies. It was a bunch of dead people covered in cloth. Which
I think when Chris saw that room,
just
get
want
excited.
bodies.
That's the man cave Chris wants, right?
Yeah. And, yeah.
Dead corpse.
Yeah.
Insert the dead. Anyway, joke's over. So they get into the room. I was gonna make a let the bodies hit the floor thing. Anyway. So they get into the room. He gets all scared and shit. And then she's just like, "Okay, put on the suit. Get the suit. Summon the suit. Summon the suit." And he's just like, "I don't know." He's like, I don't know. Not got it. I didn't bring it. I don't have it. It wasn't in the duffel bag. I don't know where it is. So then she just gives up and is just like, okay, fuck, okay. I do
what
like
is she
how
gonna
she
do, right? I mean, what is she's just
I like how
hide,
she,
right?
I like how she just like was like, she came to the realization and was just like, okay, I need a plan B. Fuck. I brought this on myself. This is my fault. Shit. So then she's just like trying to find a window. There's another way we can escape. Also, her accent on the phone when he first talked to her last episode, I didn't pick up any accent. This episode, I picked up a lot of an accent. And I couldn't really place it. It was kind of muted.
It's the shitty Motorola phone. I'm gonna go with
that. But it was interesting that she has, I don't want to say British. It is
so South African has that kind of.
It's very
it
faint,
sounds a bit
but
British.
Anyway,
but not.
Kind of.
I think she's from Wales.
Actually, it might have been a Welsh accent.
Oh no! Welsh accents are
it was a very faint something.
Welsh accents are super sing-songy. It sounds like they're singing all the time.
They are, but when they
do
fade away,
Nathan, do demonstrate.
When they fade away, though, when it's not the person from Wales and they spend time elsewhere, I find Welsh accents do fade away into Western accents. Anyway. So,
anyways, the big bad wolf
they get
comes
into the
crawling.
thing. Wolf comes out because he does the thing with the cane.
Oh, Jackal. Sorry, Jackal.
The Jackal. It's Jackal.
Crawls out of the pit.
Inserts the Family Guy joke. Jackal comes out. He flies up the stairs. She punches a guy in the balls. They go into the room. He makes a joke about wizards. Then fucking he flies out a window because there's an invisible thing that she can't see. He flies out the window and he goes, summon the suit.
He hits his head with the pipe, right?
Yo, he fucking annihilated himself.
What about his landing?
CG was phenomenal because that hit hard. And when that
so
motherfucker...
good.
His superhero
landing.
Yeah, superhero landing. But also just like, I do like that he didn't just immediately stand up and was just like, "Urgh." He stood up and was just like, I'm waiting for the pain. I'm waiting for the pain. This should hurt. I just fell fucking 2 stories. And he goes, it was all right. Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah, okay.
Interesting enough, they made a huge change here from the comics. They deviated a lot from the comics.
The suit that
in the
he's
comic
is a third person.
So yeah, they just basically said the hell with the comics rendition of Moon Knight. We're gonna change it up. They allowing Steven to whatever he believes is a suit. This is his version of the suit, because Khonshu's yelling at him, Mark's yelling at him to put the suit on, to get the suit on, and so he's like, okay, I got the suit. So this is his version of a suit. It's a tailored suit, right? It's clean. It's basically an embodiment of what Steven is, right?
But this
a
is a third. Suit. This is a third person in his mind suit. What's the other guy's name? The millionaire.
It was supposed to be 3 consciences, but they've basically
I don't know
nullified
the
third person.
I don't know that they have. I think.
Well, what's the guy's name? They might drop a hint at the very end. Right?
No, but what's the guy's name? The third, the millionaire, the Batman.
Steven is supposed
to
be the millionaire. They changed Steven's story.
They did, but there's the philanthropist, Bruce Wayne motherfucker or whatever. I think they still might.
No, they're supposed to be. So the 3 characters is one's a mercenary, which is Mark. Then there's the billionaire philanthropist, and then there's a taxi driver.
Yeah, I think Steven is the taxi driver.
No. They already said Steven was the billionaire. They changed that because his name is Steven, the billionaire in the comics.
Right, but I'm saying
they changed the background of that billionaire, and I think the taxi guy is going to be near the end. There'll be a surprise. Oh, no,
I think it's going to be the opposite. I think they've changed the backstory of Steven, and they've made him the taxi driver. But instead of a taxi driver, he's a guy who works in customer service. And then they've got Mark, who's the mercenary. And what's the billionaire's name in the comics?
Steven.
Okay. What's the taxi driver? Sorry. What's the taxi driver's name then? What's the third?
I don't remember the taxi driver's name.
So I think, and I don't know why they would have done this, but I think that they might just pull because he's just living in this head. Again, going back to my theory of Steven's not the main guy. He's just saying, put the suit on, and his brain, when it's fucking 3 people in there, is just like, here's the first suit that came to mind, and he gives him that one. I do think, because again, as Christopher was saying, like, the fact that they're hammering down, like, here's these 2 guys. These are 2 guys, and you're getting used to that. I think maybe halfway through the season, they might introduce the third one. Maybe. Whether that was...
they're probably afraid to.
Well, at least they're doing it in a way of introducing instead of, here, 3 people, 3 personalities.
It's weird that... Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Maybe they dropped it in the last episode. By the way, there's another third person that...
Yeah, maybe they'll do a fucking...
It'd be hilarious. Mark would be like, hey, Steven, by the way, I want to let you know that we do have another friend of ours here.
Yeah, maybe they'll do a Boba Fett in the last, 4 episodes. For the first 2 episodes.
Nathan, do you want to take this? He just made fun of Star Wars.
You know what? The Boba Fett had some problems, so I'm okay criticizing that a bit.
What's your thought on this, though, Nathan? Do you...
I feel like it's just... At least I think the last episode they might introduce another character, but I don't think it's going to be by the way, you've got another aspect. I think they're going to create a new one intentionally. He's going to do exactly. I think it's going to be what Mark did for Steven. I think Mark created Steven to try and protect himself and to protect Layla. And so I think they're going to do that too.
That's awesome.
And I think for the suits, now forgive me
that would be a good second season.
It would. Forgive me if you guys were saying this, but I think when it comes to the suits, I think we only have the 2 characters. There's no Moon Knight character, Mark, and then Steven. It's only Mark and Steven. Yeah. And those suits, it's just the equivalent of them suiting up, but in a magical way.
That's exactly what I think. That's what Disney's done. Disney's made that choice.
That's the other option too. Is they don't do with the third one. I really fucking like they introduced the billionaire philanthropist in the end as a teaser for the second season, and then that's the second season. Is now you have 3 characters. That's a fucking good idea. But
it is a good idea.
I do like it does make sense that they kind of blended a bunch, and it's just this is what Mark can think of for here's the suit, and here's what Nathan uses, or
Steven.
So here's my
Steven
theory
uses
why.
as the suit.
As much as I love the billionaire philanthropist character in the comics, and by the way, I love reading that section. It's cool how in the comics how they break up the story based on the character at play. But the reason why they had that billionaire philanthropist was he was the one able to fund
it,
fund Moon Knight's armor and everything. But in here, they've made it all come out of nowhere, like Venom has, right?
Yeah.
And then that kind of negates the reason to have a billionaire with tech gear.
Yeah, it's not technology. It's like this.
It's all like and they say
magic
shoes.
Shit.
They mentioned that Mark actually talks about how he's like, hey, why are we wearing Psycho Colonel Sanders outfit here?
Psycho Colonel Sanders.
Me and Chris said
such a good line.
By the way, me and Chris right away thought of Popcorn Chicken when he said Colonel Sanders.
Oh yeah.
So he like basically said, hey, we need to get into that what was that word he used? Formal Egyptian armor or something like that. He said something like that to that likeness. But he's basically saying that, hey, listen, this is your way of thinking what the suit that we want, but we need my Mark way of the suit to get the job done.
Well, and also too the weapons that he pulls out, because he starts looking for the scarab.
Daredevil.
He pulls out like a couple
sticks.
like they're just like fucking lead pipes, which is like badass as shit. But
they're
also
gold.
just like,
they're gold.
Oh yeah, sorry, gold plated lead
So
pipes.
they're probably gonna bend really easy because gold bends really easy.
Yeah, so they're anodized lead pipes. But he pulls out two of them, and every time Moon Knight pulls out things off his chest, he always pulls two. So it's just like, again, it's the same person, or it's the same mind, but it's two different personality renditions of that.
Yeah.
And I kind of really like that, because that does pull it away from Batman, because the original comics is just like, this is Batman, but he does Egyptian shit. Because she's like, it's some fucking rich guy, and he's the Dark Knight. But this guy's the Moon Knight, so he's different than Batman, because he's white robes. And like, that's like, when did it come out, in the 70s? 70, whatever?
Yeah.
Batman came out in the 60s, I think, off the top of my head. So it's like, I do enjoy the creative direction of them being like, this shit is
and that's why
evolved.
I'm glad they didn't
It's
play
not
off
just
the millionaire
Batman,
part
but
as the main
different
character,
suits.
because
So
it'd be watching Marvel Batman. You know, Batman is
Maybe
way
that
too
is the reason why
established
they
to
did that.
not picture him in any other kind of way.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
DC's been trying to fucking do a Marvel thing for so long, so it'd be kind of like a low cut to like be like, hey, we got Batman too, boy. He's
Let me ask Nathan and Chris this. What do you guys think of the actual fight scene that transpires right now? Like, he gets a good punch in, right?
Okay.
What
no.
think?
I'm just like, go ahead.
Go ahead, Chris.
Where he's like
you're about to talk.
looking like he's fighting nobody. At first, I thought it was a bit of a cop-out. I'm like, okay, so this is a way of him fighting, but not having to have... Yeah, I'm just... At first, I was like, okay. But then when he actually transforms into the Moon Knight costume, which was fucking amazing. I love the transformation. All I can think about is Sailor Moon. Yes.
Hell yeah, I thought
because
that too.
when he banged his head on the
Power
bus
activate.
and the guy looked out, he didn't see anybody. He actually went invisible as well. So it was weird, but cool. Yeah.
They did a bunch of reflection things in the first episode where he wasn't reflecting, and I noticed that in a bunch in this episode too, where he didn't have a reflection, and we talked about that because he was dead and they don't have reflections and there's two personalities or whatever. But I did notice a lot of creative choices of whether to show the reflection. And Nathan, you tell your thing.
Sure.
'Cause I have some other-
No worries. I hate it usually when I find in movies the protagonist gets powers and all of a sudden they just kick ass. I loved it when it first came out with Captain America, where he like, you know, he got all buff and everything, and he ran out and he just hunted down the Hydra agent and like managed to. He's getting shot at. I'm gonna rip a door off from a car and use that, you know, like all set to go for battle. I hate that now. I like it a bit more realistic. I like seeing that they're working hard, they're training, and I found with Steven, not a fighter, and so he got his ass kicked for most of it. The only time he did well was that punch, and it wasn't actually like a great punch. It was just like he got a hit, and he's very strong, and that was a good way of showing it. And
then he got really cocky.
he got cocky, and of course he had the living shit kicked out of him. And it was even greater though. What I really liked was how the moment that he decided, okay, now is the time that I should give Mark control, is when he realized there's going to be collateral damage. And in a lot of movies, you don't, like, sure, you see this damage, but you don't really consider people are going to get hurt.
But that's sorry, I mean to cut you. That is what I was alluding to in the beginning. Is he should just have given Mark the charge, because that is what Mark's trying to do, is prevent collateral damage. Layla being one of the most important ones.
Yeah, but from his perspective, he thinks that Mark...
And Steven was just like, I'm never going to give you my body ever
Yeah, but from his perspective, though...
And then he just gives it up.
He only has seen Mark in a capacity where he's killed people. And that's a shock. Yeah. Imagine if someone's like, hey, guess what? I'm going to drive your car. I'm going to run over a bunch of people. And I previously ran over a bunch of people.
But here's the thing, though. Mark has tried many times to try to explain to Steven what's going on. But Steven wants none of it. So there's also Steven also has to be blamed for not
the way
trying to
he was
listen
trying to tell Mark about it. It's just like, I'm like, doing. You know what? Right? Just...
I don't think he was cryptic at all. I don't think so. He wouldn't even give Mark a chance to even talk. He said, no. There'll be none of this, right? So he just keeps cutting him off.
His argument is just like, well, we have to go here and kill people, and so Steven is just like, but don't. I don't want any part of this. And again, he's being dragged, kicking and screaming into this. He doesn't want to fucking go to Egypt or murder a bunch of people in Germany or whatever the fuck.
Of course not. But that's what
Mark keeps waking up. And a conversation that they had later, when he was like, how long have you been doing this? And he's like, a long time, I don't remember. So like, this has been his life, and it's fucking ruined it.
But Mark's already said to him that, hey, listen, I had you in a little box because I didn't want you to be anywhere aware of this, but you broke through somehow, and here we are. And I'm trying to fix this because I made a deal with Khonshu, and I've got to see this through, because if I don't, Khonshu's already said, if you don't get the job done, guess what? Layla's going to be my next avatar.
Okay, but before that, Steven was just like, here's a girl that I met 5 minutes ago. Yeah, she's seems to be a person that is not horrible and cares about me. Ergo, this is the first person I've had a fucking connection with in God knows how long. So of course he's like, I'm not going to divorce you. I would never do that. He's had his entire life fucking ruined by this guy, who he's now only being able to have a discourse with.
Well, we don't know if it's his entire life. We don't know that.
Well, no. I'm saying he's had his entire life up to this point. He's, as far as he knows, had a good life, a job that he likes, in a field that he enjoys, has conversations with his mom, and has a fucking fish. Now he has to put sand everywhere and tapes his door, got fired from his job, went on a date, stopped being vegan, and if any vegan that I've ever met would lose their shit about that. Now he's out killing motherfuckers and getting the shit kicked out of him by fucking ethereal wolves. So of course he's just like...
But you're assuming that Steven had a long, outstanding life before. What if this was Mark? What if this was Mark and Steven is an offshoot of Mark? But Steven should never have been there in the first place.
No, I 100%
the primary person was Mark.
I 100% think that Steven is not the primary person, but Mark has built this life so that Steven thinks he is. So it is 100% Mark's fault that Steven now thinks, I've had this long life of things that I enjoy and you're fucking it up. So of course, immediately he's going to reject it. And that's why he's so apprehensive and why he's like, I'm never letting you have control. So then when he gets the suit because of obligation, because he's like, there's a fucking werewolf that's going to kill me. he starts like, okay, he's getting into it. I'm in a suit. There's a girl who it seems pretty rad, and she wants me to punch shit. I can punch shit. Okay. Rolls up his sleeves, gets out sticks. Okay, I can do this. I agree with you, Nathan. The fact that he got the suit and got the powers and was completely inept with them was a really good direction. Because, yeah, just like, oh, I have the powers now. How do you know how to use them? But the fact that he, like, got a sucker punch in out of nowhere, and because he has the powers, it just, like, uppercut of the century was a really good choice in writing and direction.
I thought he should decapitated the
Moon
the
Crescent.
It was only like a crescent moon. Low power. The time.
Yeah,
yeah, that's true.
That's a good point though. Yeah, because his powers work that way, right? That's a good point. Yeah,
I think it's a really good. I mean, the entire show so far is literally the duality of man.
And it's the fight inside it, right? That's what
exactly. And I think that they are portraying that very well. And the fact that we're arguing about who is the good guy and who's the
that's awesome.
It's perfect. This is really good writing. The fact that we don't know exactly. Yeah, absolutely. They are getting their point across, and it's very concise. In the first 2 episodes, we don't know
a tug of war in that
who
mind.
the good guy is. Yeah.
It's
or who the main guy is, who the antagonist or the protagonist is. We don't know.
I'm pro Mark.
In
I'm
the
pro
same
Mark.
head. Like, we don't know who the protagonist is in the fucking main character's mind.
Yeah,
such good writing.
And can you imagine we're gonna go through this tug of war, and then at the very end, neither one of them, it's somebody else.
Oh
it's
yeah,
the taxi. It's the
Yeah.
taxi driver. Well, it won't be a taxi driver. It'll be an Uber
Nicolas
driver
Cage
now.
is gonna show up and just be like, "I'm the good guy." Blah, blah, blah.
So okay, so he switches into the MoonKnight costume, and by the way, this was probably one of the coolest scenes where he is being chased down by this jackal.
Yeah.
First of all, he gets it out of harm's way, up in the buildings, because Layla's like, get this thing out of here before it hurts anybody. And that scene where he's running in the slow-mo, that scene.
Yeah, he does some
I thought it was
Assassin's Creed shit.
Oh fuck, that was so badass, that move. And then how he jumps and leaps around, and you know that iconic scene where he jumps over the 2 buildings, and the crescent moon behind it, that was awesome. And then he's like, I got you where I want, come here, motherfucker. And then he
the crescent moon
he pulls out, by the way, the crescent moon weapons.
Yep.
And he basically cuts the jackal while in midair, and then grabs the jackal as it coming down and spikes it on a barbecue pit, right? And then all of a sudden, this thing just disintegrates into thin air, which is because it's from another dimension. It just disintegrates and goes away, right? I thought that was one of the coolest scenes in the episode. It was so
Hey,
badass.
Elvin. What were the weapons that he pulled out when he was in the fancy suit?
They were the Nightwing sticks.
Okay, there were sticks. What are the weapons that he pulls out when he is in the proper?
I know where you're going with this. Merzatu?
No. What are they?
Yeah,
Crescent moon.
They're a moon.
I already said that.
The Sailor Moon one is called a moon stick. So he
Yeah,
pulls
I
out
know you were right with this. I knew that.
Yes.
If you combine the two,
Sailor Moon is now.
That's why when he
MCU.
transforms, the ribbons go, like the straps go around his body. That's
We're gonna
exactly
get
how Sailor
powerful-
Moon transforms.
Absolutely. You know what? The last half of this season, I want powerful lesbian protagonists to fucking. One's a race car driver. They own a fucking mansion. They're badasses.
let's
do
not ruin
this.
a good thing.
That
Fuck you.
Okay, if awesome is my favorite word,
let's
that
not get
is
all woke
your
here.
new favorite word.
What do you mean woke?
Yeah.
They're the
You
hardest
said it
motherfuckers.
like you said it 20 times in the podcast on Monday.
Damn right.
I'm like,
I'm using it every
holy
single time
hell.
I get.
And he's counting me?
Oh, you should see the rant. You should see the rant that I just did.
And
said it
all
in
I
there,
want
too.
is just like
Where'd that
fucking
come from?
gay badass race car drivers.
Great.
Oh,
I don't know.
Sailor Moon.
Race car
what about
driver.
Uranus?
She's a race car driver.
Okay. So
Anyway,
anyways,
she's in there too.
Nathan, let's get back to you here.
Yeah, the fight was.
What would you think about the ending?
It was awesome. Oh, are you talking about the very ending or the ending fight scene?
Yes, where Khonshu comes and says like, "You mother, you know what? Can't get your shit together." Okay.
No, it's popcorn chicken. You can say motherfucker.
Well, this is where I really disliked Mark. Is I at this point I'm
okay.
like, do you know what? I was kind of iffy about Mark. This was the point where like, no, I don't like him. Is when Steven was saying like, I'm going to get back in my body. Like from his perspective, he's like, I don't like this. He was scared, right? This is the first time he's been in this state.
Yeah.
He was scared, and then he was feeling angry, and Mark, out of anger when Steven was lashing out a bit, Mark just smashed the mirror. He tried to shut him up. I didn't like that.
That was
I get
cool
he's.
scene. I thought
It was a cool scene, but when I say don't like it, I mean like it made me dislike Mark as a person.
Okay, well, let me give you another angle to think about that. I understand that, and that really will upset a lot of people because Steven is genuinely scared because the first time he's been in that mirror, right? And because it's always the other way around, so he just doesn't know what he's doing. And Mark's like, "Hey, relax, everything's fine." But Steven's like, "No, fuck you! Like, I can't relax. I don't know what the hell am I doing here. I've never been in this situation before." I get that, and then. But I think the frustration from Mark is he knows that right now he fucked up because he lost the Scurb and the Scarab, the Scarab, and he knows he fucked up and he lost. And guess what's coming to him? It's Khonshu that's going to be coming to him and he's genuinely now pissed because he doesn't want Khonshu to annul their agreement and then go take over Layla. That's the last thing he wants, and that's why maybe you see that frustration from Mark going, "Shut the fuck up, Steven, right now. I'm trying to figure out how I don't have Khonshu go and take Layla's body as an avatar."
Well, and he tries to take over Mark and like almost shits himself because he's in the mirror and he's like, "I'm gonna take over." And
yeah, that was a good scene.
And he's just like, "I don't know how."
So I think why he was smashing the mirror is because of frustration and anger, because the whole thing just went to fucking shits, right?
It's going tits out.
I mean, does that kind of negate your hate for Mark, or are you just like, no? I
understand kind of the reasoning behind it. He did it. It's a frustrating time. He's worried about the woman he loves being subjected to this. Almost this type of torture where someone's in your mind giving you instructions on what you can and can't do, what you have to do, and he doesn't want that for her. But at the same time, he could have just walked away. Steven's still new to this. He was scared. He knew that. I'm sure he was in the similar situation before. And he.
What do you mean walk away?
His instead of continuing to argue with them and then just step on the mirror out of anger and just smash it. He should just say like no.
He's panicking, right?
He's an god
that's gonna come down and shit on him.
Operative.
I would be panicking.
I know, but
too.
he's not the average human. He's gone through so much. I think he should, with all the training he's had previously and all the experience, he should be able to control himself. Because otherwise it could compromise the mission.
At this point, it's getting personal.
It is.
At this point, it's getting personal because I think the reason why he was getting the divorce in the first place was to protect Layla.
Yeah, 100%.
So the fact that now he's losing control over a fucking god who is without any hasn't vaguely said, "Oh, I might take over her." He's just like, "If you fuck this up, I'm taking over Layla." And now there's this asshole who in the canon that we're building in the 2 episodes that we've seen, there's a guy who's fucking everything up and might jeopardize the only thing that he cares about that he fucking created. And now it's taking over, and now it's gaining power, and he's just crazy. Like, shut the fuck up, and just is punching a mirror, because he's just like, I need to think, there's a god who's made of bones and death, who's fucking yelling at me from the rafters, and this fucking little Weasley cunt is just sitting here going like, I don't like being in a cage. And he's like, I've been there for 20 years, motherfucker. I need to think. Like, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I understand that. I still feel bad for Steven, though.
It did make me.
No,
it absolutely made me empathize with Steven.
I felt bad too. Like I'm Team Mark, but I also feel for Steven. Like, imagine being trapped in something you've never been aware. Like, inside a dimension. It's sort of a dimension, right? The mirror is a dimension, and just being trapped there for the first time, it would freak anybody out, right? Yeah. So. Yeah, I mean, Mark should have, like, you are right, Mark, because he, as an ex-CIA agent, he should have had some sort of understanding of what this guy's going through now. The roles have switched. So, and the other thing, like, you know, like you're saying, Justin, he created Steven, and what he could have done was, if he wants Steven to have less and less control, he should have calmed Steven down, which will allow Steven to probably let him continue in that body and sort things out, rather than having Steven get frustrated and say, you know what, I want my body back. I want my body back. Give it back to me.
But that's also just
Steven's
like
freaking out.
That's also just a point of like Mark is also human, so he has been forced into this deal because he died, and then a god was just like, yo, motherfucker, you work for me now. You're alive now. So he is obligated to do a lot of these things too, and I think Mark is seeing the big picture, and Steven obviously is new to this whole situation, so he's only seeing what is currently affecting him. So I mean, it's the duality of somebody's brain fighting against each other, and now like there's two gods that are both like judge
also,
and executioner.
It's probably
how
just it's an empty threat. It's a way of making someone work harder for you. Is to threaten you.
He's a piece of shit.
Extortion.
To be honest with you, he's a piece of shit.
Well, it's like blackmail.
He's a god,
you know,
he can
it's
do it.
not like he's gonna do it. He's
extortion.
just trying to use words to kind of pump him up a bit and get him into action.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's crazy.
That's
how
like
he
a
says
gaslight.
Right after
that's
you know,
gaslighting relationship.
Mark, right? I do care about you. I was like, what?
It's
what
a toxic relationship.
Yeah, it sounds like a pretty
yeah
textbook toxic relationship. Yeah.
Like after he's about to, you know, like basically threaten his love interest, and he's like, yeah, you know what? I care about you, Mark. I need you to do this for me. I got your back, Mark.
And that's why Mark wants to work for him, is because he's built this fucking trauma bond with this cunt for over 20 years.
I wonder if there's gonna be a way where Mark and Steven are gonna win over Conchu at the end. They fuck you, buddy.
Okay, that's an interesting thing. How do we?
They actually. Because Steven is intelligent, and Steven is well versed in the Egyptian mythology and the lore.
He's not. He just ripped it all off from the wife of Mark. If we're going on the theory that he's completely fabricated.
Maybe. It's a theory, though. It's not certain.
It is.
I mean, he could have some sort of knowledge, right? Maybe that's why Steven was hidden from this whole time. So Khonshu is not even aware of Steven's abilities. Maybe that was Mark's long play.
Oh, well, because it was like very belittling of just, you let the buffoon take over.
Yeah.
So maybe he's also just like downplayed it, because again, we kind of touched on it in the for lack of a better term, the cafeteria scene, where Ethan Hawke was talking about his disorder. And he alluded to it. He was like, were you broken because of it, or were you broken before it? And did Khonshu take advantage of that or create it? Yeah. Which is a really interesting little plug.
There could be a long play. There could be a long play here.
Absolutely,
Mark.
Yeah.
By the way, did anybody not ask why? And like Ethan Hawke said, he was the first avatar of Khonshu.
That'll probably be explained in the next episode.
What happened there?
Maybe he disobeyed him.
Or did he
that part hasn't been explained.
Yeah. Oh, maybe that's why he's so butt mad. Maybe that's why Khonshu's so butt mad at what's her name, is because she fucking stole
but you're gonna give up having amazing superpowers for a fucking king.
That okay? So now it's a story
There
of
you go.
vengeance.
Now
And a
there's
tattoo. I'm the Dark Phoenix now. Don't fuck with me. I'm gonna get you.
Yeah, well, it's got some purple
got
lights
an
in it.
alligator,
So it's super
okay?
cool. I didn't think of that.
all right,
That-
okay,
that
let's,
actually answers the question of why he's all butt mad at this.
This is
other
insane.
guy.
How many there is so many little lines that we shoot off from this thing. Like we're going everywhere, and it's crazy. And that's
So
a testament of how
episode
great the
3
writing
is
and
going to be
stories
3
are.
hours long.
2 episodes. And
We're
we're
only
going in this
2
many
episodes.
tangents.
Yeah, just 2 freaking episodes.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's get to the ending here. No, we're gonna be. So let's get to the ending here. Khonshu basically takes him to Egypt. They wake up in the hotel. You see Steven scared in the mirror there. Again, Steven's still hiding, or not hiding, stuck in that position.
Yeah.
And then you see Mark just dropping back to Jack, right? Is that Jack? I don't know.
No,
what
it
is,
wasn't
but
Jack.
it was some sort of
I was
Egyptian
trying
whiskey.
to.
No, they wouldn't. No.
there
In
aren't-
Egypt, it's a Muslim country. They wouldn't have any distilleries.
Yeah.
So he brought this over in the suitcase.
You could.
No, it wasn't Jack,
No.
and I don't recognize the label.
Well,
I'll
that
tell
is
you
awesome.
something.
buy
I
it.
wasn't
No, no,
looking
no,
at
no,
but I
what he
don't
was
believe that they
drinking.
produce.
That's
there
not
are
what I was
Egyptian
looking at.
distilleries.
Okay,
Yeah.
it could be an African.
Yeah.
It had a white.
So
You're looking at the
was
bed
his
sheet.
underwear.
It was a white label on the
There,
bottle.
it is Egyptian cotton.
Yes.
If you're wondering,
He was glistening. He glistening.
Oh my god.
anyways.
The pyramids.
It was
It was
mummified.
caught in Christopher's eyes.
So he opens up the blinds. He opens up the blinds and he sees the pyramids. So
He sees the big bulges that are in Egypt. I'm just gonna keep pressing this joke.
play the song. Wah, wah, wah. The sound
No,
effect.
because honestly, I
So,
love
it
this
ends abruptly
because
there. I hate
you know
these abrupt
I'm
endings. It really
again a
pisses me
huge
off.
I
fan
hate
of
TV.
Egypt and anything
bullshit.
Egyptian, and seeing that we're gonna just hit a whole new level with this show, and I really hope it takes us a little more into the lore and the history, and maybe even get some
Yeah.
past history scenes where they're in that time. So I'm super stoked to see what's gonna happen.
Well, also too, they avoided because there's only 6 or 7 episodes. They avoided the like episode of filler of just like, because he was saying like, oh, how are you gonna make this better? And he's like, I'll track him down. They totally
yeah, no.
could have just been like, all right, we're gonna spend an episode of him like looking up leads, and then they were just like,
Yeah,
fuck
I
it,
know,
he's
that'd
in
be so
Egypt.
boring.
Next episode's gonna be him
God.
fighting gargoyles, and you're just like,
Gargoyles?
shit,
In
okay,
Egypt?
or whatever,
Gargoyles?
stone beasts, whatever.
Nathan, are there gargoyles
No.
in Egypt?
There are not.
Okay.
That is a very European invention.
What is a gargoyle?
Gargoyle, it's basically a water spout on Gothic buildings. It's just so that way, you know, when the water goes down, it gets caught in the gutter.
It's a drainage
drain-
system.
Apart from
It's a drainage system from the
Well,
past.
they still make them
apart
today.
from yeah, apart from the
Gotham's got a lot of them.
yeah, it does, but they are a beast made
God.
of stone that comes to life and fucks shit up. He's gonna fight a sphinx, okay? That's what I was meaning. I'm not talking about irrigation or whatever. He's gonna fucking fight a stone beast.
I think
or
he'll fight a
something. I don't know.
crocodile sometime.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yes.
Those
Give me
are
some
in
of that.
water. There, irrigation, crocodiles.
All right, let's get to
Whatever.
speculation.
I don't know why you keep trying. You're sinking.
He's
here.
gonna
Leave that
fucking
alone.
fight.
Leave it
some
alone. Leave it alone.
beasts, and it's gonna be sick. That's what I was trying to get at. But
Yes. I just think it's going to be they're going to try to get to the pyramid, and Arthur Harrow is going to get his way. He's going to use the scarab and
Yeah, you
get
did it.
close to. Yeah, I did. Pardon me. He gets to the location where the bones of Amit are found.
Yeah.
and I think that's when shit hits the fan. That's what I'm thinking is going to be happening. What do you guys think, Nathan?
Well, I'm curious as to why he was drinking. I think maybe something happened that's bad, that would give him cause to drink, and that's what kind of person he is.
I do that before I go
get
to work.
I'm gonna pass out drunk on my bed. There are people like that. But but I do think we're gonna see an episode with mostly Mark in control. I don't know how many Moon Knight appearances there will be. I think this part's very much just going to be one of those classic kind of searching out. I'm looking around and less actual conflict. But I think they showed us the pyramids. 90% chance, 99% chance he's going to go in one of the pyramids.
Oh yeah, for sure. Any idea of how Layla's going to get there, because she was not in that scene?
She managed to get to London and track him down there. I'm pretty sure she'll...
Is it not weird that how she's not there with him in the hotel?
Hold on, did they show Layla's phone number on the phone?
No, it's
ever?
contact.
It's only contact? Okay. Because I was gonna say, because again with the whole like vague accents, we don't know where she's from, and she is a new creation in this series.
So I looked up her
I was gonna
actor,
think maybe
and
yeah.
she's Palestinian and Egyptian, and she studied in Boston. So
There you go. There's okay. So she's just talking.
yeah, I think it's just a mix of everywhere from where she's from.
Because I could not place the accent, and that's why I was saying why I was like Welsh.
It's a
like
hodgepodge of
faint-
everything.
Like a faint Welsh thing. It was like it's kind of maybe something happened to her, and that's why he's okay. Why is he drinking so heavily? Elvin, I didn't think much of it until you pointed that out.
I think
maybe he's just stressed.
I'm stressed. I'm gonna down a whole bottle of whiskey.
This is his coping mechanism. This is what he can think of coping.
But also that makes him mentally weaker, so then Steven can take over easier.
Yeah,
or
maybe.
he can lose control. Which, why would he do that?
Or
when he's
maybe
so
he just
hell-bent on...
Or maybe that's the taxi
maybe you
driver.
guys are
Or not.
overthinking it, and he just wanted a drink.
Whatever the fuck.
I bet you
Yeah, maybe
anything
that's
the
why we
next
didn't
episode,
recognize
it
the
had
whiskey. It's 'cause
nothing
we're
to
too
do with
fucking
anything.
poor to
He
recognize
just
$1 million
wanted a
whiskey.
drink.
That
Yeah,
could be it.
over...
Yeah.
He was
I
just
don't know.
thirsty.
The last episode started off pretty much right off the bat and started with sound effects from
my
the
God.
tail end of the first episode. So if they keep going with
This one, you're going to start out with the camel yelling.
or just
Oh my
like
gosh.
him vomiting in a toilet and he's just like, hold my
Anyway.
hair.
Probably the same as a camel yelling.
Steven, hold my hair.
I give
I
it an 8.
What would we get? Well, let's give our scores here.
I'm still
What would we give it
enjoying
out
the
of 10?
show.
Let's go around the table.
Yeah.
We'll start with Chris. What do you think?
No.
Okay. And what was last week's? Oh, you weren't here last week. Yes. What did we gave it like 8.5, I think, right? Justin, what did you give it last week? Do you remember?
I think I gave it an 8 or a 9. I docked it a point, if not more, for the shit.
You both
CG.
gave it a 9.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And then what did you
I
give it,
think I
Nathan?
gave it an 8.
Okay. And Chris, you just gave it an 8. Nathan, what did you give this episode?
I loved the feeling of the last episode a bit more. That sense of mystery is your introduction to all this, into kind of what he thinks is his insanity. But I feel like this episode, the CGI was better, the action sequence was better. We got to see Moon Knight in action. I thought this one was quite good, so I'm going to give it a higher score. Not necessarily because I thought it was. I know what it's going to say. Giving it a 9, not because I had. I enjoyed it a lot more. I just think this one had less problems.
Agreed. Yeah.
Still a great episode.
Justin, what would you give it out of 10?
I'm gonna give this a 9.5.
Ooh.
It's not a perfect episode, And the problems that I did have, okay, the fucking Mandarin was garbage and immediately took me out. So but that's a writing, that's an intern's job. Somebody fucked up.
But it's also the actor. Like, the actor should have...
I don't know. The actors are given the
Yeah,
script.
Yes and no.
The actor
To an
has to take
extent.
some training coaches
Yes,
for getting the
agreed.
accent.
Also, we don't know if Ethan Hawke is a douchebag or not. And if he's just like, oh, I can pull this off. No, this is how Mandarin's
history
pronounced.
says that
And
he
he
was.
just did it. Actually,
Yeah, I'll get into it another time.
the
But
character or actor?
the actor.
Okay,
There's
then
some history.
Okay, then you know what? Then it's possible that an actual person who knows how to fucking speak Mandarin was like, "This is how I pronounce it." He's like, "Actually, I think
Yeah,
my
I'm gonna
character
give my
would pronounce
twist
it
on
this
it.
way."
Because
Yeah,
I'm a legitimate
I-
actor and you're not.
Yeah, so that could have probably been it. So it wasn't perfect, but the action was good. The CG was good. I do like how they had the horror trope of the girl on the ground and getting dragged away. That
Yes.
like, from the ground
Yeah,
shot
that's
of what's her name getting just dragged
Yeah,
away by the
Layla, right?
invisible
Yeah.
thing. It was awesome, and a lot of the fight scenes were good. The CG was good. We just fought about ethics in a comic book movie that has taken a lot of artistic liberties. And this is a big thing of why I'm so impressed with this. It's changed a lot of shit. And a lot of videos that I've watched about this, nobody's really mad at it. Like the fact that they have condensed 3 pretty big characters into 2, as far as we know, and nobody's upset about it, is a really good sign of really good writing and really good direction and good storytelling. And so far, the 2 episodes have been the pacing, and they flow together wonderfully. And so far, there's been no real dry spells. So yeah, not a perfect episode, but fucking close.
I have to agree with a lot of what you guys said for this episode. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 as well. Some of the flaws that you mentioned are some things that I also looked at is, and then I the one thing I really liked about this episode was it gave more of this internal combat that they're having, right? It gave us Mark versus Steven more now, and we truly are getting to the center of it all, of how each one of them feels, and they're repulsed by each other now. And there has to be a point where the 2 of them have to come together in agreement, because if they don't, then they're not going to accomplish their objective, right?
Hold on,
So
I just rewatched the thing, and he said Josalea Watamia. That's the Mandarin he spoke. That's not Mandarin. That is no Josalea.
no, I
That's-
don't know. I
that's
don't even
not-
know what that is.
Nothing. That's
So
Ethan Hawke.
yeah, 9 out of
ish.
10 for me on this. I can't wait for next week's episode. Keep the good times going. I love this. This all these theories that people are thinking of, and yeah, nobody's really said a lot of bad things about this, because maybe it's not woke. It's actually a good story. There's not a whole lot of nonsense in here. It's just great writing, aside from some of the Mandarin. But yeah, overall, I mean, this is probably going to be one of the better Disney Plus shows that they've put together. And I'm talking about not just Marvel. I'm talking about Star Wars and all of that. Like, this is getting Mandalorian territory here.
This is. I was gonna say, yeah. This is like Mandalorian-esque.
And
like,
we keep looking back and going, only 2 so far. Only 2.
that blows my mind.
Right.
This has been 2 weeks, and I'm this invested in like the characters.
All I pray for is they continue with this great writing and not go downhill from here. Like, please continue with this great writing. That's all we can ask for.
This was directed by 2 different people. This episode.
They usually do that. Disney does that a lot with all the
They do.
shows.
Usually
give-
you can fucking tell. And this one.
Yeah, we were able to tell with the Boba Fett for sure.
Oh, there was the good ones, and then there was the other ones. So this one was done by Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead. 2 white dudes. Yes. I'm just going by their name. So
No wonder there's a lot of combat between Mark and Steven, because Justin and the other guy was probably like that in real life.
Yeah.
So
Justin has done an episode of Loki. Loki was pretty good.
Yeah, some parts was good. Yes, there was some really good
that was like overall,
yeah,
you know, it was pretty good. He's done an episode of The Twilight Zone, the new one. So he's can do some weird shit. And that's about it. He's done some shorts and stuff like that. So then the other guy, Aaron Moorhead, he's done a bunch of horror movies.
Hey, look at that.
There we go.
That's why you got that scene. Now you got that scene, right?
That makes sense. So he's done All Hallows Eve, The Reaping.
Chris, have you seen
Straight
that?
Out of he did Straight Outta Oz?
Rip.
If you haven't seen that, it was amazing and horrible and amazing. He was a cinematographer on that. Okay, so he did some Funny or Die. He did Fallout, Strawman, The Haunting of Katie Malone. Okay, so they had a guy who's done some Marvel stuff and, you know, Twilight Zone, and then a cinematographer who's done a few horror things.
That's a good mix.
Yeah,
that's a good
mix. That is. And Mohammed Diab did solely the last episode, the first episode rather. And these two guys, which I think, was a good mix. And those three people are the only people who direct. So it's the three of them that are doing the whole season.
Nice.
The fact that they're having the one dude and then the other two guys, and the fact that those two episodes fit so well together, I think speaks wonders to the fact that the rest of
all
the
three of them
season's
probably got into a room together and said, "Let's not fuck this up."
Absolutely. Yeah.
Let's be on the same page.
I think we're not going to have any issues, about cohesiveness between the seasons. Also, another side note, Christopher, you were correct. Sailor Uranus is the race car driver.
I'm glad we figured that one out. Awesome. For
Clean up
anybody
all
who's
the
listening
loose
and watching,
ends.
we appreciate it. Is there any last thoughts, guys, before we end
No.
it off here? We hit over 2 hours here. 2 hours of fun. I had fun. I really did. 2 hours of good debate. Lots of running off to other things, talking.
On tangents.
Yes. But if you're listening to us, be sure to go to our social media platforms at Astonishing NR and go follow us there. Nathan is doing awesome things on Instagram, so go check his awesome feeds every day. And then if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, go and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And then we're trying to get up to 1,000. We're getting close, and just being a subscriber, you have a chance to win a prize. So why not? Just click a button. Yeah, just click a button, and
like this.
leave a comment.
Oh my god.
That's a button.
That is loud, and we apologize for that.
You're welcome, Internet.
But we won't apologize for our take on MoonKnight and Sailor Moon, because they're linked together now forever. And MCU.
She's part of the MCU.
Disney needs to make a live-action movie of that, so
Be
that'd pretty
amazing.
cool. Yes.
Yes.
Or fucking garbage.
No,
With the
they've
history of live action animes soon.
they've
I will
already
watch it.
ruined it. If
Oh
you
no,
guys
I'll watch the shit out of it.
if
but,
you guys want to see
I actually own all the figures too, by the way.
No, if you want to see the most shittiest, cheesiest show, YouTube live action Sailor Moon and watch the transformations they do. It is
it's
terrible. And like the
But
And
it's
on
done
that
with
note,
so much heart.
You have to let
It's
Nathan
done with
go
so much
because
heart.
Nathan
Yes.
needs to get some sleep. So
Me too.
On that note, we thank everybody who's listening to us wherever you are in the world or the universe. Have yourself a good morning, a good day, and a good night. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.
Dio say bye. Dio say bye.